Brentwood comes away with a win, and Ravenwood should win at Smyrna. Now in 5A, Beach should win at home against Portland. I think Shelbyville Central wins at Columbia. The Golden Eagles playing pretty well right now. Centennial should get a win at James Lawson. I like Giles County to win in Lawrenceburg. Tullahoma should get a home win against Franklin County. I like Hendersonville to win at Hunters Lane. Springfield should win at home against Station Camp. I'm picking Spring Hill to win. They play Lincoln County at home, and Nolensville should get a home win against Glencliff. In 4A, DeKalb County travels west to county rival Watertown. Records don't matter a lot in this game. The game should be close, and I think the Smithville bunch gets a big win. Smith County should win at Macon County. I like Upperman to get a win on the road at Livingston Academy. Cumberland County should top Pickett County. I like Stone Memorial to win at White County. White House should win at home against Whites Creek. Moore County should win at home against Fayetteville. I like East Nashville to win at Maplewood. At Pearl Cone, Pure Academy of Memphis makes a long trip from Memphis to Nashville, and I think Pearl Cone gets the win there. Montgomery Central should win at home against Creekwood, and Marshall County should pick up a win at Greenbrier. In 3A, White House Heritage should get a win against Cheatham County. Liberty Creek, one of the state's newer schools, travels to Stratford. I like Liberty Creek in that one. East Nashville should top Maplewood. I look for Fairview to get a win at home against Richland. Todd County, Kentucky hopes to win at home against Stewart County, and I think they do just that. East Robertson should win at Sycamore. I like Cascade to get a win at Community. And Trousdale County hopes to put a mark in the win column. I think they do just that against Republic. 2A action finds Westmoreland traveling to Gainesboro against Jackson County. I look for Westmoreland to win that one. Monterey should win at home against Clay County. I like Cannon County to get another win, this one at home against the Forest Rockets. Moore County should win at home against Wayne County. Look for Marion County to get a win at home against Fayetteville. I think East Robertson tops Sycamore. I like East Hickman to win on the road at Houston County. Summertown should top Loretta. Lewis County travels to Centerville to take on Hickman County. I'm picking Lewis County in that one. And Mount Pleasant should win at Harpeth. Finally, in 1A action, Gordonsville goes to Joe Burns. I gotta go with Gordonsville in this one. McKenzie travels to McEwen. First-year coach Rick Rice has a tough one this week with 1A champ McKenzie coming to Warrior Country. I think McKenzie wins that one. And Eagleville should get a win at Collinwood.
Thanks, Murphy. When we continue, Murphy's search for winning programs and coaches takes him in an easterly direction, where he'll find co-head coaches and the Fighting Irish. You're listening to Murphy's Matchups.
Now, top excuses for not wearing a seatbelt, as told by guys in Tennessee.
Man, I get claustrophobic though, you know?
That's not claustrophobia, that's safety.
I don't know, I get this rash.
Are you sure that's from a seatbelt?
I don't need one, I've got my airbag.
Seatbelts and airbags work together. Think teamwork, like sports.
Nobody tells me what to do in my vehicle.
Ever heard of stoplights or speed limits? There's really no good excuse for not wearing a seatbelt. Click it or ticket. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Of the 26 letters in the alphabet, none makes an impact quite like the letter T. Coach Doug Dickey knew that when he put it on the Volunteers football helmets in 1964. And since then, it has evolved into one of the most well-known symbols in college sports. We call it the Power T. And it's not just a logo, it's proof that the Volunteer spirit never stops growing. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company, and the official insurance of the Vols.
When you want down-home cooking, just head downtown. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel serves traditional Southern cooking, sourced fresh and local, just like Grandma used to make. Start your day with a Southern smoked breakfast bowl or a Music City omelet. If you're looking for variety, hit the biggest breakfast buffet in Music City or get your fill at the world-famous Biscuit Bar. Kitchen Notes dishes up lunch with traditional Southern tomato pie, country ham, and classic picnic ambrosia. Serving breakfast Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10:30, and lunch is served 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Kitchen Notes doesn't forget the brunch crowd. Brunch at Kitchen Notes is every Friday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., featuring cast iron pancakes, made-to-order waffles and eggs, and ice-cold carafes of mimosas. Enjoy farm-to-table Southern dishes made from treasured family recipes. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
You're listening to Murphy's Matchups. Murphy chats with Knoxville Catholic High School's co-head coach, Steve Matthews.
Steve, you're in your second stint in charge of the Fighting Irish at Knoxville Catholic. Guys are off to a really good start this season. How's things been going, especially with co-head coaches?
It's been great. We're running this thing together, and he's doing a great job, and we're working hard. And I think the players have responded to it really well. And like the way we started the season, but obviously a lot of improvement moving forward. But I really like the team and really like the situation.
You explained to me before we started this interview that you had actually worked with Philip at Smyrna in your early years of coaching.
Yeah, I did my student teaching at Smyrna years ago. And Coach Chad Owen was the head coach there and had tremendous success there. And, I'd go out and watch practice, things like that. So kind of got to know him then. And then he moved on to Blackman, and I was at Seagulls. We competed against each other in Middle Tennessee. So we kind of, haven't known him, real well, but I've known enough of him, known the reputation for a long time.
Tell us a little about your team this year, Steve. It's a little bit different region than it was the last time you was there, but it's still high school football, and you got to lace it up tight on Friday nights, right?
Yeah, no doubt. We're D2 AAA is probably the toughest opponents you're going to face, and we're excited about that. And excited about building this program. We've got some good young players, starting with Tyreek King as a receiver and Jaden Neal at quarterback, and also a group of veterans that are doing a nice job for us so far. With Braylon Harmon, who's one of our seniors, and Bryson Gardner doing a great job.
Your travel budget, though, is still going to be rather extensive, given the fact that you're in the same region with teams from the Nashville area.
Yeah, still having to go to Nashville. Actually, got lucky this year. Briarcrest has to come to us all the way from Memphis. So I think everybody's kind of hoping something will be done about that here in the near future as far as the travel situation for these high school games and get these young men home on Friday night at a decent hour. But it's fingers crossed on that. Hopefully at some point they'll make some changes to help us out on that travel department.
I want to get back to you and Philip being co-head coaches. You're obviously an offensive mind. Do you kind of run the offense and let him run the defense, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's how it's going. I'm offensive coordinator, he's defensive coordinator, but we still talk and shoot ideas back and forth, really on both sides of the ball. So it's a team effort. And again, I knew Coach Chad Owens and I would be fine. I wasn't sure how the team would respond, but they've honestly responded great to it, and kind of honestly feels like one of these things I'm surprised more people don't do. It does take a lot of burden off of you as far as some of the demands of being a head coach in this day and age.
Coach, for one, I am glad you're back in the coaching ranks. You've got so much you can give to these kids, and I wish you luck the rest of the season and hopefully into the postseason this year as well.
Coach Steve Matthews of Knoxville Catholic High School. You're listening to Murphy's Matchups.
Starting to save for your future doesn't have to be difficult. Let Wilson Bank and Trust help tone up your financial goals this year. Our certificates of deposits or CDs can help your money work harder with our competitive rates, earning you more than ever before. WBT checking options allow you to earn rewards you can really use, like a high interest rate or cash back on check card purchases when you meet some e-banking qualifications. Visit your closest Wilson Bank and Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC.
It's a Bill King Show.
Somebody asked me, this ascension of Tennessee football, is it sustainable? I think it is sustainable. They're a recruiting ranking school. You can get A-plus personnel to Rocky Top, Tennessee. And the state is now way better than it ever was in its past, producing players.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athlete. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators to display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit JodyJonesDDS.com or call 615-259-5100.
You're listening to Murphy's Matchups. And now with a look at the West and Division II, once again, Murphy Fair.
Thanks, Doug. A big week in Shelby County where 6A teams are concerned. It's a big regional weekend. Bartlett travels to Arlington. I look for Bartlett's Panthers to win that game. Houston should have no trouble at Cordova. I like Whitehaven to win at White Station. And Collierville should get a home win against Douglas. In 5A, I'm picking Brighton to beat Kingsbury. Munford should win at home against South Wind. I'm picking Dyer County to win at home against Chester County. And Memphis Central should get a home win against Memphis Overton. In 4A, I don't expect it to be a good night for Jackson Northside or Jackson Southside. I figure Crockett County disposes of Southside in Alamo, and Northside, also on the road, likely falls at Lexington. Memphis East will probably lose. They go to Savannah to take on Hardin County. Fulton County, Kentucky, likewise, probably going to lose on the road to Obion Central. I like South Gibson to get a home win against Christian County, Kentucky. I'm picking Raleigh, Egypt to win at Lakeland Prep. Kirby should get a home win. They entertain Melrose. Millington, playing at home, should have an easy time with Craigmont. I think Haywood tops Fayette Ware, and Westwood should win at Manassas. Now in 3A, on a Thursday night, I look for Sheffield to top Hamilton. Bolton should get a home win against Wooddale. I'm picking Covington to win at home against Scotts Hill. That game could be closer than a lot of people think. Dyersburg should win at Bolivar. Ripley should get a win at McNary Central, and I think Westview also gets a road win. They travel to Jackson to take on Liberty Magnet. Now in 2A, a pair of Thursday night games in Memphis. Tresvant should win at Memphis Business, and Mitchell should pick up a win at Bluff City. Now on Friday night, I'm picking Freedom Prep to win at BTW. Peabody travels to Adamsville with an 0-3 record. This may be just enough for Adamsville coach Brandon Gray to lead his team to a mild upset over the Golden Tide. Milan should win on the road at Camden. I'm picking Riverside to get a regional win at Gibson County. I like Fairleigh to top Oak Haven down in Memphis, and Mitchell should win at Bluff City. Now in 1A, Union City should win at Gleason. Greenfield likewise should get a road win at Humboldt. I like Dresden to top Halls. Lake County should win at home against South Fulton. West Carroll should get a win. They host Perry County. I like Middle College down in Memphis to beat Middleton, and I think Westwood tops Manassas. We'll take a look now at Division II AAA in the East Middle Division. Lipscomb Academy out of Nashville should win at Baylor. I think McCallie gets a win at MUS. I'm picking Knoxville Catholic to win in Nashville against Ensworth. MBA travels to CPA. I think CPA gets that win, and I'm picking Brentwood Academy to win at Father Ryan. In the Western Division of Division II AAA, I'm picking Briarcrest over Ridgeway. Tipton Rosemark should win at home against St. Benedict, and I think Christian Brothers wins a home game against Hillcrest. In Division II AA, in the Eastern Division, Boyd Buchanan should win at North Cobb Christian, Georgia. I'm picking West Ridge in the Tri-City area to win at Lakeway Christian. Chattanooga Christian should win at home against Silverdale. I'm picking Knoxville Webb to win at Chattanooga Notre Dame. And CAK of Knoxville should beat Knoxville Grace. In the Mid-State, Davidson Academy should win. They host BGA. I think DCA gets a home win against Providence Christian. FRA travels to Good Pasture. FRA playing very well this year, and I think they pick up a win on the other side of town. Pope John Paul II should win. They travel to Webb in Bell Buckle. In the western part of the state, Lausanne should win at ECS. St. George's should top MLK Prep, and I think North Point Christian out of Mississippi should win at Copiah Academy, Mississippi. Finally, in Division II Single A, Eastern Division, Friendship Christian out of Lebanon should win at Franklin Grace. It's homecoming at Lenoir City, and I think a win over Kings Academy makes for a great celebration for the Panthers after the game. Finally, Mount Juliet Christian should win. They travel to Red Boiling Springs. In the middle part of the state, I think Middle Tennessee Christian wins at home against Clarksville Academy. Huntington should win on the road at Columbia Academy, and Ezel Harding should win at home against Cornersville. Finally, in the western part of the state, FACS should get a road win. They go to Brewston Central. I like Jackson Christian to win at home against USJ. Trinity Christian should win at Fayette Academy. And Doug, our final game to call, Tupelo Christian Prep out of Mississippi should win at Harding Academy.
Thank you, Murphy. You've been listening to Murphy's Matchups. Murphy's Matchups, made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance and your local Farm Bureau agent.
Coming up next on the MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week, East Nashville travels to Maplewood. And now, your host, Jonathan Schaefer and Joe Fisher.
We're good, John.
Magnet. I'm Joe Fisher saying hello from the broadcast booth. Another very comfortable September Friday night. Joined in the booth by my partner, Jonathan Schaefer, as well as producer-engineer Adam Johnson. Let's start with East Nashville, 3-0, having scored 40 points or more in each of their 3 wins. They are focused on trying to go a step farther than last year. They have knocked on the door over and over again.
Yes, they have. It was a run to the 3A championship game where they fell to powerhouse Alcoa 45-26. Second year in a row they lost Alcoa for the title. Started last season 8-0. They've started this one 3-0. All those victories over larger schools. Points totals of 45, 47, and 40. Meanwhile, the defense pitched a shutout last week against Overton, allowed only 6 points to Pope Prep in the season opener. They've outscored their opponents, Joe, 112-32. Damian Harris, longtime Pro Cone assistant, first season at the helm of the Eagles, but he's aiming to take them to a 3rd straight finals appearance. They play 7 games in a row on the road this season as their field gets replaced with artificial turf.
Well, other side of the ball, Panthers trying to find themselves under first-year coach Chris Simpson. 0-3 start from Maplewood, losses to Hunters Lane, BGA, and Spring Hill. They will lean heavily on their senior quarterback, LaDavian Darden.
Yeah, and this program haven't had a winning season since 2018. That year they went to the 4A semifinals, and they're going to go as their quarterback goes, Joe. Darden, 3 total touchdowns, leads the team in passing and rushing. They're trying to gain their footing as we begin region play tonight.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Going to be a great night. Q Joseph and Will Brown will join us at halftime to update you on everything going on in high school football in the Mid-State. Our own Greg Pogue got a chance to visit with the 2 head coaches earlier this week. We will come back and hear their comments coming up in just a moment. This is the Class 3A Region 5 matchup. The Eagles of East Nashville Magnet, the Panthers of Maplewood. Coming up on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Jackson Boone Racing. The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series Championship at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Jackson Boone Racing. A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old. Jackson Boone Racing. Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front. Jackson Boone Racing. If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike, Southern Trophy has been serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 62 years. Southern Trophy offers a wide array of services like custom designed awards, cast bronze plaques, etched crystal awards, laser engraved corporate gifts, promotional items, merch, embroidery, screen printing, signage, and banners. Browse their entire collection online at southerntrophy.com or on Facebook at Southern Trophy. Feel free to give them a call at 615-256-7295. That's 615-256-7295. Southern Trophy. They do their best to help you recognize your best.
We all know that Nashville life can get hectic. In the middle of all the madness that is life, don't forget to take care of yourself. Treat yourself to Nashville's ultimate relaxation experience at Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. With services for men and women, Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel is your one-stop shop for full-body treatment. Begin your experience in the exquisite relaxation room, then enjoy a full-body treatment or even a couples massage before finishing in the salon. Located on the 4th floor of the Omni Nashville Hotel, Mocara Spa is Nashville's highest quality self-care oasis. To book your experience or gain information on packages, call Mocara Spa today at 615-761-3600. Again, 615-761-3600. Or log on to theomnihotel.com. And with every booking, you'll have free valet parking and rooftop pool access to enjoy the Music City skyline. And through Labor Day, enjoy the 4th floor spa terrace for only $20. Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Welcome back to the MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Here's Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
From Maplewood High School right here, very close to downtown Nashville. East Nashville Magnet 3-0 on the year. Maplewood 0-3, both in Region 5 in Class 3A. Our Greg Pogue had a chance to visit with the head coaches for tonight's game. Chris Simpson from Maplewood and Damian Harris from East Nashville.
Coach Damian Harris with us.
Oh, I'm definitely liking our defense. We're playing real fast right now and physical. That's one of the things I preach. We have to play real fast, physical, and discipline. Offensively, we're still trying to get it together. My group is pretty young. We're led by 2 sophomore running backs, and K.J. Johnson and Keelan Anderson. We've been relying on them a lot, and our passing game is actually starting to pick up with a new quarterback in Martez Lamb. Just being under a new offensive coordinator, things just go a little different. So offense usually picks up slower than defense.
And look at Maplewood, and I know they're off to an 0-3 start, but they've got some players, they've got some athletes. What do you need to do to be successful?
Oh, yes. Maplewood, on film, they look great. They coached by a good guy, Chris Simpson. He does a real good job as a defensive guy who was once here at East. So he knows a lot of the players' strengths and weaknesses here. But we kind of plan to attack them on the outsides. Like I said, trying to get our passing game going a lot. I got some receivers want to take advantage of a couple like one-on-ones and stuff that we might be able to get.
Joined out by Maplewood coach Chris Simpson.
I like the grit and the determination that we're playing with. We had some games that, of course, that didn't go our way, but we showed some perseverance, some adversity. We fighting through it, so that's what I liked about it. What we need to get done is score some points, which is on me. Putting the kids in better situations and just executing the game plan, because the small details matter. That we gotta execute the small details. Execute small details, they lead to big gains.
When you look at East Nashville, what do you have to do to be successful?
They're pretty solid all the way around.
Yeah.
They're a well solid group, honestly, in every aspect of the game. So I think we just got to piece together the small successes and punch it in a couple times. And also let the kids know, man, we don't have anything to lose this game, man. I know it's a region game, but at the same time, they're the favorites, so we just got to come out and play hard. Just try to keep them on their backs as much as possible. Try to keep the pressure against them so they can feel it.
Tell me about the growth of your program, but from where you have taken it over. Obviously, it's a growth process to get where you want it to be. Where are you in that process?
I would say we're still in the beginning stages for sure. We're still in the process of figuring it out. Even this week, there's some things that the kids have to understand about me, and we're slowly getting it together. That I'm not here for the rah-rah and all the extra things. Some things they was allowed to get away with that I'm a stickler for. Because being a student comes before being a football player, so we got to just take care of the small things.
For tonight, East Nashville Magnet visiting Maplewood High School. East Nashville 3-0 on the season. All impressive wins: 45-6 over Pope John Paul Prep, 47-26 at Kenwood up in Clarksville, and then a 41-0 win over Overton, which I thought kind of sent a message. As you mentioned earlier, all larger schools, and they've dominated all those games.
Yeah, you got 2 6A schools there, and then you've got a Division II AA school in Pope Prep, and they've been able to dominate. So, again, this team trying to make their 3rd straight finals appearance, and if they can do it, can they get over the hump against Alcoa this year? That's going to be the ultimate question in December.
Other side of the ball for Maplewood, they come in 0-3. Lost to Hunters Lane 20-0. Lost at BGA, a team we saw last week that impressed us, Jonathan. I think they were better than I think we thought going into that game, and BGA won that one 42-12, and then a loss to Spring Hill 41-14. And you can see one of the things, offensively challenged. They've had difficulty scoring points facing an East Nashville team that has not had a challenge.
Well, not only that, East Nashville can run the ball and run it very effectively. They're already getting close to 1,000 yards total rushing this year. They're not that far away. And that's the same for a BGA team that we saw that could run the football really well. Did so last week against Nashville Christian. Let's see how Maplewood can match up against this East Nashville offensive firepower.
Looking forward to it. Maplewood black jerseys, pants with the dark red numerals trimmed in white. The chrome-looking helmets, silver helmets on the other side of the field. East Nashville white jerseys and pants, dark red and black numerals and lettering trimmed in white as well. We'll take a break, come back, get this one started for you. It's East Nashville Magnet and Maplewood coming up on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Carries per game, Derrick Henry.
20 carries a game is what Derrick Henry needs. Anything under that, I don't know what we're doing. He's got to get the ball at least 20 times.
And my number was going to be 22. So 22 carries a game for Derrick Henry, 8 targets, at least DeAndre Hopkins every game.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athlete. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators to display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit JodyJonesDDS.com or call 615-259-5100.
It's the Midstate Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Joe Fisher with play-by-play and Jonathan Schaefer with color analysis. Now, down to the field with your first half coverage. Here's Joe Fisher.
Looking forward to this one here on a wonderful night. Boy, I tell you, we did these last year, Jonathan. I was in the booth for some of these in September, and it was miserably hot.
Well, that's what it was like in Antioch just a couple of weeks ago when we had that record heat move through. But you know what it feels like? Fall football.
Yep.
It's that time of year, and we're ready to go.
Looking forward to it. East Nashville taking on Maplewood. Maplewood won the toss. They deferred. East Nashville is going to get the ball to open the game, which I think is an interesting decision. You know, East Nashville is offensively minded as they are, and Maplewood's going to go ahead and give them the ball to start.
Yeah, when you're the underdog, you might want to find a way to get some points on the board first and put a little bit of pressure on them. But nonetheless, they've deferred, and they're going to try to get the 1-1, try to score at the end of the first half and again the beginning of the second.
Yep, now preparing for our national anthem here. Both teams have brought very nice bands here, got them in the stands as well. And that was Maplewood's high school band with our national anthem. I tell you, Jonathan, and I know you've done this as well. I was born and raised here. You drive through Middle Tennessee, you drive through and you get out on a Friday night and you run into AM radio stations all over the place that are carrying games, and I just think there's nothing much better than hearing an anthem, getting ready for some high school football.
Well, you and I have covered football at every level, basically, and, of course, you with Vanderbilt, and I had a chance to cover the Titans and a lot of high school and college football. I still like making that drive. Occasionally, I'd make that drive down 65 and see lights at 4 different stadiums going through Davidson County on a Friday night. And no matter what the age, what the level, doesn't matter if it's amateur or professional, there is nothing like Friday Night Lights.
It's interesting when you compare these two teams, Jonathan. One of the things I went through, when you look at Maplewood, they're 0-3. They're young. They're not very big. They've got a couple of guys that are, but they've got a bunch of guys on this roster that are like 5'7", 135. I mean, they are giving up significant size across the board.
And that's where it's going to be very difficult against East Nashville, especially with their experience. And that's the thing. They've made it to the state final 2 years in a row, and they've still got young kids that are their top performers right now. It seems like they are able to replace that production year after year. Going to try to do it again this year. But, yeah, in terms of the size advantage, pretty easily we can tell that it's East Nashville.
East Nashville, white jerseys and pants, black numerals and lettering trimmed in red. They have kind of the gun barrel gray helmets, if you will, for lack of a better phrase. They're going to be moving right to left as you listen here to open this first quarter. Maplewood with the black jerseys and pants, red numerals trimmed in white with silver helmets, the big block M on the side. as we get set to get things underway here. Now, kickoffs have not been a real strength for Maplewood throughout this season. In fact, they have one of their big guys, number 77, out in front, who's handling the kickoffs, and I think their average kickoff, I kind of watched some in practice, 30, 35 yards on the kickoff, so that's not been a big strength for them, at least early on.
Yeah, it's not often you see a lineman who's kicking the ball away. That's what's going on here today, as East Nashville has their 2 return men back. They're only back to the 15, so they're expecting a short kick. And if you're Maplewood, if nothing else, just pooch the ball. Just get that pooch kick toward the sideline and perhaps draw that fair catch.
East Nashville has had some success in returns. They're actually going to back one up now to about the 10-yard line as we're about set to get underway. This kickoff is in the air. Pretty good one, as a matter of fact. Going to be fielded at about the 8-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, rooting right to the 25. Has room 30, 35 sideline, 40. Hesitates 45 midfield, and finally forced out of bounds. Outstanding starting position for East Nashville as they will start in Maplewood territory at the 48-yard line. That was well blocked on that kickoff, and a great return to give East Nashville a wonderful starting position.
Yeah, Kenny Fuller with the return. He brought it from the near hash, was able to take it out to the boundary in front of the East Nashville bench. Outstanding field position. In fact, plus field position. They'll be at the plus 49.
Martez Lamb is the quarterback for East Nashville. Junior, 6'175". He's thrown for 147 yards. He has rushed for 149, so he is certainly a dual threat in that regard. K.J. Johnson, Keelan Anderson are the threats in the backfield on first down, looking to throw, as a matter of fact, and throwing long down the middle of the field, has a man incomplete. Just a little bit too tall for Elijah Usher. He was looking for him at about the 20-yard line, who was open just off the fingertips.
Just a little bit off, maybe about half a yard off, and that's the thing. You would expect them to come out with their strong running game as they have all season long. They went right over the top, took it to the near hash, and again, receiver was open, just a little bit too strong, was able to elude the grasp of the receiver.
I think East Nashville likes to go in a little bit more of a tempo as they have lined up once again on second down and 10. Handoff, tailback bounces it out right, 45. 40, should have a first down to about the 38. That's K.J. Johnson. He is the sophomore, 5'10", 180, over 400 yards. He's averaging 130 yards a game coming into this one.
Yeah, that 400 yards on just 43 carries, already 7 rushing touchdowns on the season.
And here's the tempo. Once again, they're ready to go. Snap, handoff, not much there this time. This is well defended. Maybe a gain of about a yard, and that is all. As leading the charge there defensively was Savely, Maurice Savely, the senior, 5'11", 206. He's got 5.5 tackles for loss this season. He's been in the backfield some.
They're hoping he can be in the backfield even more here today.
Gain of 1 on the play, second down and 9. East Nashville from the Maplewood 38-yard line, just underway, 10:50 to go here in this opening quarter. Out of the shotgun. Play action fake. Pass over the middle caught. That's going to be a first down inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. The reception to DeAnthony Lanier, who is a senior. That is just a quick pitch and catch on the quick slant right over the middle.
And it was a very nice throw, too. Able to get him in stride. Didn't have to hold up to catch the football. Great play.
And they're ready to go again. This time the handoff to the tailback. Johnson tries the right side. He'll get the 20, maybe a gain of 2 or 3. East Nashville wants to go quick. They want as many plays as they can with this high-powered offense.
We're also expecting Kellen Anderson to get some carries tonight, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns so far.
And there is no huddle in this. They line up quickly, and maybe a little bit of early movement on the right side of that offensive line, as it looked like maybe Malik Bowling might have moved a little early, and that's going to cost him 5 yards for the Eagles.
And they actually had Javon Carter set up there as the split end on the right side. He's listed as a tight end, defensive end for them. Let's see how much they use him as a lead blocker. Already have on a couple of plays this evening.
And we're going to see that again. We saw this last week. A lot of these guys are going to play both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
You're going to see guys playing almost every play in this game. With that penalty, it's going to be second down and 12. Ball back to the 25-yard line of Maplewood. First drive for East Nashville. Looking to throw. Passing far side. Pass caught at the 20. Breaking one tackle and fighting it close to the 15-yard line. A really good effort out there as contact was made, but I believe that was Ernest Woodard that got out there and broke the first contact, got 5 more yards as a result, brings up third down and 3, and here goes East Nashville again. They are ready to go. Handoff, tailback right side, and going to be close. Boy, second effort might have gotten it. I think it did.
I think it did. And Carter, as I mentioned, they like using him as a lead blocker. We've already seen a couple times tonight, Joe, whoever the running back is, he's got that left hand up there, making sure his lead man is sledding would-be tacklers out of the way.
That was Keelan Anderson, the sophomore. His first carry got the first down. Handoff to the tailback Johnson. Cuts it to the right, gets to the end zone, and touchdown East Nashville. Boy, that ball started to the left. He cut and then cut all the way back to the right and found nobody home. That was a nifty move to get into the end zone.
Fred Taylor, anyone. The way he was able to take that to the left and then bounce it right and then bounce it right again. That was an extremely good run for the touchdown for his 8th touchdown of the season.
13 yards on that touchdown run, and now the extra point. And these have been a little bit of an adventure now, really, for both of these teams this season. And this kick is low in a line drive, and it is going to get just inside the upright to the left side. So East Nashville on their first drive, 2 minutes, 51 seconds, 8 plays. They cover 49 yards after the opening kickoff return got them in position for the score. And early on here with 9:02 to go in the opening quarter, East Nashville 7, Maplewood nothing on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Jackson Boone Racing. The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series championship at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Jackson Boone Racing. A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old. Jackson Boone Racing. Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service, along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front. Jackson Boone Racing.
You're listening to WNSR, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. Now back to the live action with Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
East Nashville Magnet impressive in their opening drive. They take it down the field and score for a 7-0 lead. And now Usher, Morton, and Woodard back deep, 3 across. You rarely ever see this. 3 across the back line at the 10-yard line to receive the kickoff about to come from East Nashville. And this is a squib kick. Bounces off one hand. It's on the ground at the 25, and finally they pounce on it at about the 27-yard line. They hit an up man with it. It bounced off the hands and got loose. That's what the Eagles wanted, but they could not recover.
That's exactly what they wanted with the squib kick, and you couldn't even think about really getting a return in that situation. A good job by the Maplewood player. That's a moment where you just jump on it and keep the possession to move on.
So LaDavian Darden, the quarterback, the senior, 5'11", thrown for 237 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions on the season. Xavier Morris, the senior, is their most prolific tailback. They will start in a shotgun formation, 2 receivers split to the left. They'll pass quickly to the left side, and that is caught at the 35-yard line. Nice gain of about 8 yards on first down on that opening pass. And the catch out there in the perimeter, and I believe that was number 22. That was Teasley, Demarion Teasley, with a catch for an 8-yard gain.
Well, and that ball was nearly tipped because the defender that was guarding the slot receiver on that far side read the play immediately and dove in, but was unable to come up with the football.
On 2nd and 2, and a whistle is going to stop play, and let's see if that was
the offsides.
Yep. Yeah, that's the difference. It was not offsides. It was encroachment. It moved and caused the whistle to blow, and that's going to give Maplewood a first down. I think it's interesting, Jonathan. Maplewood wants to go tempo 2, and you wondered if you wanted to do that against a high-powered offense.
Yeah, we saw BGA last week against a top quarterback in Nashville Christian. They had no problem slowing things down a little bit, and they were able to have long, sustained drives.
Boy, an early movement. East Nashville really crowding the line of scrimmage like they were going to bring a blitz, and let's see if they drew early movement, and they did. It will be illegal procedure against Maplewood. Walk that back 5 yards. Boy, they had 2 or 3 guys come running to the line of scrimmage, and Maplewood's offensive line reacted.
And if you're Maplewood, at least you got the first down. So even though it's 1st and 15 this time, you at least got that fresh set of downs on the previous penalty.
So now 1st and 15 from their own 35-yard line. Out of the shotgun, boy, once again, East Nashville 4-5, now 6 on the line of scrimmage. Handoff tailback over the left side. Going to get 3 or 4. and that's going to be about all on the carry. That's going to be Xavier Morris with his first carry coming into this game, 83 yards on the season in 35 carries. Jordan Houston, leading tackler on this East Nashville team, adds another one to his list there.
Well, 7 in the box that time. East Nashville's decided, look, we're going to exploit this size advantage, and we're just going to go straight at them.
Second down and 11. Two receivers split to the right. Shotgun rush is coming, scrambling, running, trying to get out of play, and throws that ball into the turf, basically in the general direction of Teasley, but it was down at his feet and incomplete. Boy, the rush was coming as number 51 really putting pressure on that line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up now a third down and 11.
Actually thought it was a pretty good play by Darden to get the ball that close to the receiver. I thought he was just going to really throw it into the dirt. He had pressure coming from the left and then to the right. Unfortunately, I have a feeling, Joe, that might be a theme this evening.
That was Malik Bowling, who plays on both sides of this line of scrimmage for East Nashville. Now 3rd and 11 for the Panthers from their own 39-yard line. 7:20 to go in this opening quarter. Out of the shotgun, 3 receivers right. Looking downfield, pass thrown to the sideline, picked off, intercepted, going to be a pick 6. Going to be an easy interception and touchdown return for East Nashville.
Lance Bell with the interception return for a touchdown. So far this season, Joe, East Nashville, that is their 6th defensive touchdown on the year.
That is Bell's 2nd interception, and the pick 6 gives East Nashville now a 13-0 advantage with the extra point to come. And, boy, that's one of those, when you throw it up in the air to the sideline, you're kind of asking for trouble.
Well, they got pressure on the quarterback, so he had to deliver it quick. But when you're throwing it across the field, as you mentioned, that ball just hanging in the air, Bell just hung out until he was able to high point it, grabbed it, interception return for a touchdown.
So now the extra point opportunity to come. The first one was a line drive that just hugged inside the left upright. This is another one that hits the left upright and falls no good. So it was a line drive, but a doink, if you will, off the upright, no good. So a quick 4-play drive that was cut off by the interception for the touchdown. 13-0 East Nashville leading Maplewood. 7:02 to go in the opening quarter on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike, Southern Trophy has been serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 62 years. Southern Trophy offers a wide array of services like custom designed awards, cast bronze plaques, etched crystal awards, laser engraved corporate gifts, promotional items, merch, embroidery, screen printing, signage, and banners. Browse their entire collection online at southerntrophy.com or on Facebook at Southern Trophy. Feel free to give them a call at 615-256-7295. That's 615-256-7295. Southern Trophy. They do their best to help you recognize your best.
Welcome back to the MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Here's Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
Kickoff squibs all the way inside the 5-yard line. Going to be picked up back at the 2. Really nowhere to go and tackled inside the 10-yard line. Well, that was a disaster really for Maplewood. It squibbed. It got past the back man and rolled all the way. And it did go to the end zone. It cut inside the 5, and so he had to field it and pick it up. And so tough starting position now for Maplewood.
Yeah, basically, if it was baseball, that went into shallow left field that time, the way it was able to skip back toward the end zone. And that's what East Nashville's going to do all night long. There's no reason for them not to hit those kicks like that where there's just those squibs right up the field.
So I'm curious, Jonathan, if you're Maplewood, do you want to continue to go hurry-up offense here?
I know that's their system, but I think you got to find a way to have the clock be your friend.
First down for the Panthers from their own 7-yard line. Darden in the shotgun at quarterback. Has a man in motion left to right, takes the snap. Looks a little option pitch running right, nowhere to go. Morris is going to be smothered for no gain on the play. Boy, tremendous coverage out there by Malik Bowling, the defensive end who got out there on the corner on the perimeter. No gain on the play.
Well, and also a great job by the linebacker in Morton, the defensive back who was on that side, as he was able to keep his assignment on the running back with the little pitch. He stayed on him while 6 went up through the middle. Good assignment football that time by East Nashville.
So no gain on the play. Second down and 10. No huddle, but they don't really go hurry up. They do line up now on the formation. On second down, man in motion to the left. This time a handoff up the middle and not much, maybe to the 9-yard line. That's going to be about all. Bowling is there again to lead the charge on a very short carry. And it's going to bring up 3rd and long once again on that carry by Morris.
Yeah, Maplewood just needs to find a way to get the ball out into open space and out into the perimeter. They're going to have a really tough time running in between the tackles tonight.
5:40 to go in the opening quarter. 13-0 East Nashville Magnet with the lead, and Maplewood facing a 3rd down and 7 now from their own 10-yard line. 2 wide to each side, shotgun formation. Darden to throw, fires far side, and it's incomplete. Just a little bit too tall off the hands of his intended receiver, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Only had 2 down linemen that time, had 2 coming off the edge, 1 on each side, and they just brought the pressure. So Darden really has no time to get set to be able to throw the football, Joe.
So now a punting situation for Maplewood, and that's going to send the punt man back standing at the goal line. And East Nashville with an opportunity with Usher standing back at about the 43-yard line, so a chance for great field position. High snap, and that punt is going to be blocked. In fact, he's never going to get it away. Question is it a safety or was he out of bounds at the 1-yard line? I believe they're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line.
The forward progress, and we've got a flag that was thrown really late. I have a feeling it might be unsportsmanlike conduct coming up against East Nashville. He was able to get past the goal line, so they're ruling where his momentum stopped, and it was at the half-yard line. But if this penalty is assessed that we think it is, it's going to push it back 15 yards.
Might have been better off to stay in the end zone and take the safety, but nonetheless trying to preserve and get out of there. But I believe dead ball, it is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on East Nashville. So instead of having the ball at the 1, it looks like they'll have it at the 16-yard line.
I have a feeling there was a little talking at the end of that.
Yeah, there was a couple of gestures that were made, and that's probably a film session you don't want to be in tomorrow. But nonetheless, the Eagles will start in great field position after that turnover from the Maplewood 16-yard line, already leading 13-0. 5:15 left to go in the opening quarter. Officials now on the other side with a brief conversation with the East Nashville coaching staff. I believe just kind of telling them who it was, who was involved.
Yeah, Coach Damian Harris, I think, wanted some clarification in his first year as head coach of East Nashville, longtime assistant just down the road at Pearl Cone.
So Lamb in the pistol formation at quarterback on 1st down. Hands off tailback right up the gut, big hole to the 10 to the 5 to the end zone. Boy, that didn't take long at all. Touchdown, East Nashville, Keelan Anderson. He was barely touched going over the left side, and at least in the early going, the Eagles dominating this opening quarter.
There was no one around him. Once he broke through that line, he just made one move to the near hash. As East Nashville is going right to left, easy touchdown for the Eagles.
Stats are pretty easy. One play, 16 yards, took about, 7 seconds? Something like that.
Not much more than that.
It was over. So the extra point to come, we've had one go through. We've had one hit the left upright. And this one is pooched up and hits the right upright and is no good. So we've had a little bit of everything in the point after adventure for East Nashville. That's been about the only thing that has not gone well for them so far. 4:51 to go, first quarter. All Eagles. It's 19-0 East Nashville Magnet on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
The Jim Rome Show.
There are still things that are triple U, including people who take pictures and then crop them and use them as their biopics. There's got to be another picture of you. You cannot take a picture with somebody else and then X that person out of the picture, crop them out, and leave yourself in, and then have it all off-centered, or maybe have somebody's claw still on your shoulder, or part of their ear still in the picture.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio.
You're listening to WNSR, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. Now back to the live action with Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
Of course, tomorrow at 8 a.m., Prep Football Talk, Greg Pogue and Coach Bubba Spears. Then TSU against Arkansas Pine Bluff tomorrow, 5:30 airtime with a 6 o'clock kickoff with Greg and Chris Sanders.
Much different scenery from South Bend, Indiana last week.
What a great trip, though. I had the opportunity to do that, and it's a great experience. kickoff is going to bounce at about the 20. It's going to be scooped up at the 10 by Maplewood. 15-20. Nice bounce to the outside. Gets the sideline. 25-30. 35-40. Best play of the night. Out of bounds. That's a late hit. That's got to be a flag. There's the flag. That was very clear. Now you got to clear people off there. You got a little bit of woofing going on the Maplewood sideline, and good, cooler heads prevail on that return. That was an outstanding return. That was Emmons for Maplewood that had a wonderful return, and then was hit clearly out of bounds. That's going to tack on 15 more.
Well, and actually the player that tried to make the tackle was the kicker, and he got the worst of it.
Well, by far the most positive player for for Maplewood tonight.
I think it might actually be on Maplewood. No, I'm sorry. It is. Yeah, I'm sorry. It is on East Nashville.
Yeah, if anything, it might have been a reaction after that hit out of bounds, but there was not one. So Maplewood walks it, I believe, Jonathan, for the first time into East Nashville territory.
Outstanding field position for them.
Desperately in need of points.
Second best field possession of either team in the game so far, up at the 39.
They'll start at the 39-yard line for the Eagles. Let's see if this offense can try to find a way to get something going. Darden at quarterback in the shotgun. Two receivers split right, one to the left, man in motion left to right. Darden is going to keep. Fake handoff, going to bounce it out to the left. Not much. That's well pursued and covered. And, boy, Darden is slammed to the ground after no gain on the play. And once again, Bowling, I tell you what, he's everywhere. Malik Bowling, he has been all over the place, and he was right there to shut that down for no gain.
It was actually a nifty move that time by Darden, but he went up the middle. He stopped and then went over to the left side, thought he might be able to pick up a little bit of yardage. No gain, just physical, fast, this East Nashville defense.
So no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
As I almost called them East Lit that time, which that's a former name
back,
for them.
That's right,
yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, we can go back to when my dad went there, which was East Nashville Junior High, as a matter of fact, but that's going back into
years.
Yeah, really, that's going back into the 50s. 2nd down and 10, and now all looking to the sideline, slowing things down a little bit, which I don't think is necessarily a bad idea. Get yourself focused, get everybody where they need to be. Two receivers left, one right. Shotgun formation on 2nd down at about 10.5. Darden in the gun. Boy, East Nashville showing blitz. They may have encroached. Let's see. And they did. Second time tonight that they have been just a little bit antsy and come over. They're going to give Maplewood 5 yards.
If you're Maplewood, you just have to find a way to get points on this drive. You got the excellent field position with the good kickoff return, that penalty, the 15-yarder earlier. You've been gifted 20 yards due to penalties.
So now 2nd and a long 5. In the shotgun is Darden. Two receivers split left, one to the right. Lining up and then looking to the sideline, so taking a little bit more time now than they were earlier. Darden takes the snap. Here comes the blitz. Handoff, tailback, bounces left. Really not much room, maybe a yard or two. And that's about all. It's Maurice Savely with the carry for a gain of a couple on the play. And again, boy, I tell you, I'm impressed. East Nashville has quickness on the perimeter, don't they?
They really do. And what they also do well is they shoot those gaps pretty easily as well. They get a lot of that pressure up the middle to then try to push it to the outside. And then the linebackers behind that can come in ball pursuit. Just a really well-trained East Nashville defense.
So 3rd down, and let's call it 4.5, something like that. Ball is at about the 34-yard line, just inside the 34. Play clock is at 10. And certainly Maplewood taking a little more time, being a little more deliberate now between plays. In the shotgun, straight give. Savely up the middle is going to get the 30. He's going to be very close. I think he's got a first down.
Yeah, the official
right across the middle. I think with that left-footed spot is going to give them the first down. Well, that's one of those old things. Left foot, right foot. Is that right? I don't know, but sometimes it seems to act that way.
I don't know how many times I'd see the official on the far side of the field and then the one on the near side be a yard difference.
Oh, absolutely. More than I'd like to count, yes, over the years. Yes, indeed. Clock is running, 2:25 to go in this opening quarter. East Nashville leading 19-0, but Maplewood on their best drive so far. Ball is spotted at the 29-yard line from the shotgun. Darden to throw down the far side, pass intercepted. intercepted 15-20. Penalty flag down, 25-30 down the far sideline, and finally tackled at about the 40-yard line as the interception pulled in by Devarius Trotter. That is his first interception, but let's wait and see what this flag is.
Yeah, the flag looks like it's thrown at the far sideline.
Flag is at the 22-yard line. The return was up to the 40. A lot of times that flag is usually on the return, but let's see. Bill Plant's our referee tonight. Going to be holding. I believe it's on the return. Oh, no, it's not. It's before. It's going to be defensive holding, so that's going to be first down for Maplewood. That is a huge call in turn of events for the Panthers.
Boy, East Nashville with 3 penalties on this drive and that turnover taken off the board.
So as a result, ball is spotted at the 19-yard line. Maplewood is in the red zone. So 50 yards on penalties so far against East Nashville so far in this first quarter. Ball at the 19-yard line. Darden in the shotgun. They load up to the right side. Darden looks right, fires into the slot, pass is caught. Boy, nowhere to go. Outstanding coverage and a loss back to the 21-yard line. As that pass was to Teasley, but I mean, he caught it at about the 24, and the minute he turned upfield, nowhere to go.
Yeah, just right there on the slot. He went over to his left into the inside, tried to take it upfield, but again, East Nashville, their power and speed on defense, able to gobble up the ball carrier.
Boy, it sure looks like about the only option is going to be something quick over the middle. Because laterally is not working, going side to side. Second down and 12. After that 2-yard loss. 6th play of the drive, thanks to the penalty a moment ago. Darden in the gun. Has a man in motion, left to right. Darden hands off. Tailback Sabley is going to push it inside the 20 to the 19. Still grinding. Man down to the 15. Well, they just pushed the pile about 4 more yards and got some distance out of it to the 15. Brings up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get 1 or 2 yards at best, but they did push that pile. 7 in the box again, that time for East Nashville. And Maplewood, for one of the few times tonight, won the physical battle.
Final minute of the first quarter. 45 seconds left. 19-0 East Nashville Magnet leading. 3rd down, let's call it 7 where they marked it. Back at the 16-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Darden in the gun. Hands off tailback inside the 15. A gain to the 14. I would think this is 4-down territory if you're Maplewood. Going to bring up a 4th down and 4. And again, Boiling once again with a tackle. He has been all over the field. I don't think Maplewood has to run a play here to end this first quarter, and they're already headed to the sideline, so they're going to let it come to an end. They'll talk about what they want to do on this 4th down situation. First quarter belonged to East Nashville Magnet. 19-0 over Maplewood on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athlete. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators to display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit JodyJonesDDS.com or call 615-259-5100.
Welcome back to the MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Here's Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
You know, when I come to Maplewood, having been born and raised in Nashville, there are a couple of names that come to mind. I think one of the best high school football players I ever saw played here. E.J. Jr.
That's a good call. I didn't think about that.
I'm telling you, he was in basically my class in 70. I mean, in terms of the same classes, not in terms of the class. but you know, when I look at as dominant as he was for as long as he was, he would be right at the top of my list. And I'll tell you another one that comes to mind. And if you're a Vanderbilt fan, you're going to remember this one. Preston Brown.
Absolutely. Definitely a good tenure with the Commodores.
So now 4th down, Maplewood is going to go for it. And now a penalty flag down, and boy, that may change things. Illegal procedure on the Panthers. Instead of 4th and 4, it's going to be 4th and 9.
Well, they don't really have a kicking game, but now 4th and 9, really tough. And it's a big drive, Joe, down 19-0. You got to get points on this drive to stay in this football game.
Well, this will be, I guess, the 9th play of the drive or the 8th play of the drive? This will be the 9th play of the drive. Looking at 4th and 9, they've taken some time off the clock, about 4.5 minutes. But, boy, if you're the Panthers, you dearly love to get something out of this. But now facing 4th and 9, it's got to get inside the 10 for a first down. Dardanette shotgun. Looking, fires, pass is underthrown and incomplete, almost intercepted at the goal line. And if you're East Nashville, you're probably better off that he didn't, because you'd had the ball at the 1 instead of taking over at the 19.
Brought 5 on that play, and I have a feeling, Joe, it was a miscommunication where he thought the receiver was going to go one way, and actually the receiver came out toward the near sideline and threw his hands up in the air at the end of the play. I think there was a miscommunication on that.
So let's see how East Nashville Magnet answers this one. This is a team that scored over 40 points a game in each of their 3 wins. 45 against Pope John Paul Prep, 47 against Kenwood, 41 against Overton. And the quarterback, Lamb, a couple of completions, 24 yards. They had a pick 6 in the first quarter. From the shotgun, Lamb on first down. I thought they had 2 men moving at the same time. There was no penalty flag around the right end. Big hit at the 25, maybe to the 26. And that's about all. As brought down is Ernest Woodard. I thought they had 2 receivers moving at the same time.
Well, and it was a good job by Lamb in terms of the snap and the handoff. There was definitely a possibility for a fumble. And then on that carry, the ball carrier in Woodard just got stood up and actually readjusted his helmet and tried to keep going. Never really seen that happen before.
Gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down and 3. 2 receivers split left, 1 to the right. Lamb in the shotgun looking to throw. Dumps it into the flat, incomplete. It was in the general direction of Javon Carter, the tight end, but really was not anywhere close to him. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And that's kind of an unforced error, Jonathan. He was open all by himself out there in the flats.
It looked like a broken play.
Yeah, it did.
As if Carter was not expecting that ball to come to him, because he was not in the right body position to be able to catch that football. Sideline warning right now on East
Nashville. Yes, sideline warning. There's always one official over there on the sideline that's paying attention to that kind of thing. So now it brings up, it should be 3rd down, isn't it? It is 3rd down. I mean, they finally got it right. I thought I had it, but they finally got it changed. 3rd down and a long 3. Quarterback keeper going to get the first down and more across the 30 to the 33-yard line. That's an element that they like with Lamb. They can let him run the football, and that was designed for him to run all the way.
And that's the thing. They can run the football any way you want to do it. Johnson, Anderson, Lamb. I think you're going to see a few more carries from Lamb just like that.
And they'll go with the pistol formation. Handoff tailback, broken down in the backfield. Now trying to reverse field and trying to find some room to run, going to the right. Gets to the 30-yard line, finally corralled out of bounds and well out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. And that was K.J. Johnson with the carry, and I give the officials, I guess, a little bit of credit. They let that play go well off the sideline after the tackle was made, but no flag was thrown.
Well, and also credit to Johnson. That should have been down in the backfield 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He runs the whole way across the field to at least get it back up to the line.
Got
actually a little bit before.
Got a gain of a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9. 5 plays on the drive so far. 5-man defensive front looking to pass, comes near side, pass is caught, a little bubble screen here to the right side, 40-45. That'll be a first down out to the 45-yard line on the reception by Elijah Usher. First time we've seen that one. I like that design.
Have to have the receiver in the flat and make the block. He did that. The quarterback was able to suck 3 defenders into the backfield. Nice play.
So first down from the 45-yard line. Handoff tailback running left this time. Midfield 45. He should have a first down, as a matter of fact. And a gain of about 11. That's Keelan Anderson, the sophomore. Tell you what, if you're East Nashville, you kind of like you got 2 sophomore tailbacks you're building not only for this year but for what could come.
No question. That time he had 3 lead blockers as they pulled over to that left side. So we knew it was going to be a big gain, and it was.
Lamb has only thrown it 6 times, 4 completions, 41 yards. They're going to rely pretty heavily on the run game, and now timeout is taken by Maplewood. They want a little bit of a break. We'll take it as well with 9:09 to go in the half. 19-0 East Nashville on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Jackson Boone Racing. The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series championship at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Jackson Boone Racing. A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old. Jackson Boone Racing. Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service, along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front. Jackson Boone Racing.
You're listening to WNSR, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. Now back to the live action with Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
Great to have you with us. East Nashville Magnet leading Maplewood 19-0, 9:09 to go in this first half. Leading rusher KJ Johnson for East Nashville with 5 carries for 32 yards. Maplewood calls a timeout, facing a first down now for East Nashville from the Panthers' 45-yard line.
Let's not forget, on that last drive for Maplewood, they were able to benefit from 3 East Nashville penalties, but they couldn't find a way to get it into the end zone.
So first down, shotgun formation, looking to throw. Firing over the middle, pass is broken up, incomplete. Good defensive coverage there. I believe that was looking for number 3 defensively. That was Emmons there on defense on a pass that was thrown to about the 20-yard line, and he got a nice hand up there and knocked it away.
Threw the pass to Woodard, who was in the slot on the far side. I actually thought he was going to throw it to Lanier, who was open on the right side.
Second down and 10. Ball at the Panthers' 45-yard line. Maplewood trying to hang around. You know, if they can find a way to get a score, get right back in this thing. Play clock at 10. Handoff, tailback runs left, breaks a tackle, breaks another, gets to the 35. It's going to be a first down to about the 32-yard line. That's Johnson again. He was hit at the line of scrimmage. Looked like he was going to get collared and did not, and broke that tackle. Gained 12 yards on the play.
Well, and it was Devin Johnson, number 52, the left tackle on that side. I thought for a second he might get a flag, a little grabby on that, but he was able to get the defender out of the way. They picked up the first down.
Ball is down to the 32-yard line of the Panthers. First down for the Eagles. Little low snap, going to try to run right this time. Johnson's going to get the 30, hits to the 25, and that's about all as he goes down to one knee. And that's Anderson, rather. Keelan Anderson. Boy, they're kind of interchangeable, 2 and 6. Both sophomores, both about the same size, 5'8", 5'10", not big, but they can get to the perimeter and make a nice gain of 8 yards there on first down.
Actually, I thought Maplewood did a fairly good job defensively that time because he was never able to hit the corner. If he'd be able to hit it along the boundary, it could have been big yardage for East Nashville.
Lamb at quarterback. Johnson already 52 yards rushing and a touchdown in this game. Johnson came in averaging about 130 yards a game. Keeper this time, Lamb, pushes it inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. That will be enough to move the chains once again. Boy, and you know, when you've got a quarterback that can do that, it's an entirely new dimension that a defense has to pay attention to.
You mentioned that earlier in the drive with Lamb, that they can be very selective when they call his number. And, of course, they're running that option spread so he can keep it on his own and go up the middle. That's his second first down on this drive.
7:20 left to go in this first half. East Nashville Magnet has dominated so far, and Lamb looking to throw, looking to the far side of the end zone, incomplete. There's the penalty flag, and that's going to be interference. There was contact in the end zone. That was Emmons with coverage, and that was a pretty easy call.
That was a no-doubter. You could see very early on from our vantage point, they had the one-on-one over on that side on the flat. You knew they were going to go for the fade into the end zone. The defender that time, he just tried to hold up the receiver. That's literally what he did. That's why he got the DPI.
It prevented the touchdown, but you're going to get the pass interference. It's going to bring it about half the distance to the goal. It should put it down about the 9-yard line. That's going to bring up 1st and goal now.
You hate that you get the penalty, but in that situation, it kept points off the board.
It was either that or a touchdown. You're right. So now 1st and goal from the 9. And let's see if East Nashville decides to just keep it on the ground here. Let's see what they do. In the shotgun formation, they will hand off tailback Johnson to the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown, East Nashville Magnet. Boy, just running about that big offensive line and made it look easy as he strolls into the end zone, and the lead is extended now to 25-0.
And that's such a difficult play to defend because you're faking that jet sweep. You have a quarterback that can run the football, just turn around and give it to the halfback. You've got so many options there. Makes it difficult. East Nashville back up on the board.
So now about the only adventure that they've had is the extra point. And actually we have a new kicker in to try this, a left-footed kicker now. Johnson a couple of touchdowns, 61 yards rushing so far, and this kick is up, and that kick is going to be good. So a new score with 6:59 left in this opening half. East Nashville 26 and Maplewood nothing on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike, Southern Trophy has been serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 62 years. Southern Trophy offers a wide array of services like custom designed awards, cast bronze plaques, etched crystal awards, laser engraved corporate gifts, promotional items, merch, embroidery, screen printing, signage, and banners. Browse their entire collection online at southerntrophy.com or on Facebook at Southern Trophy. Feel free to give them a call at 615-256-7295. That's 615-256-7295. Southern Trophy. They do their best to help you recognize your best.
Welcome back to the MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Here's Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
East Nashville Magnet, 11-play scoring drive, 81 yards, 4:18 off the clock. Second touchdown rushing for K.J. Johnson. So now the Eagles find themselves leading by a score of 26-0 with 6:59 left to go in this opening half. And Maplewood once again will send their 3 deep receivers back across inside the 10-yard line. This kick is going to be fielded on a line at the 20 to the 25 to the 30. Nice return, 35, 40, 44-yard line. They've had a couple of really nice returns and a penalty flag down back at the 36-yard line.
You mentioned that. I was thinking the exact same thing. The only weakness we've really seen so far from East Nashville has been on kickoff coverage, but a flag is thrown usually in the area of an illegal block.
And there is the signal, so they're going to walk that one back against the Panthers. But we are so thankful to our sponsors, Jody Jones, DDS, Jackson Boone Racing, our Player of the Week plaque sponsor. Of course, our good friend Todd Rodemel, Omni Nashville Hotel, our post-game show sponsors, Strike and Spare, and Southern Trophy House that provides our plaques each week.
If you want to know how good Jody Jones is, he can fix a hockey player's teeth.
And has done it
many times.
Yes, indeed. So they walk it back to the 26-yard line where Maplewood will start first down with 6:51 left to go in this opening half. Shotgun formation. Darden in the shotgun, bobbles the snap. It's loose. He's going to pounce on it after a loss of a yard. So, boy, nothing going right for the offense. And, boy, I can understand it. You get a little antsy back there when you know that rush is coming.
He's been facing 5, 6, 7 defenders at times. That time, I think he just peeked up a little bit, didn't follow the ball into his hands, and it hit the turf.
So a loss of 2 on the play, second down and 12. Darden came into the game having passed for 237, having rushed for 195 and 3 touchdowns, but not able to get much of anything done tonight. Second down and 12. Man in motion left to right. That's the H-back. They'll hand off tailback. Nice cut to the left, and is going to get about 5 yards out of that because of the cutback. Moves to about the 29, but that brings up a third down and about 8 situation.
Yeah, East Nashville brought 5 that time, and because of that cutback, actually one of their better runs that they've had up the middle of the field, Joe.
You know, there comes a point, too, when I'm sure East Nashville's kind of thinking that the deep ball may not be a big threat. So when that's the case, then you load up on the rush and you load up on the line of scrimmage. Third down and a long 7. tailback in the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, and that is about all. Boy, outstanding defense. That was Anderson on the defensive side of the ball for East Nashville that makes the tackle, and I would think brings up a punting situation here for Maplewood.
Late handoff that time by Darden. I thought for a moment that he had kept it, but you mentioned with the passing game, 2 interceptions had been thrown, but 1 got taken off a board because of a penalty. So the passing game has not been effective so far for the Panthers.
Elijah Usher back deep to receive the punt. He's averaging 18 yards per return. Now remember, Maplewood had issues with a punt earlier in this contest. They're going to make a late substitution. They're going to, I thought, maybe make a couple of them, and they got a reset of the play clock, which is beneficial. So now they're going to make another addition. Let's count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I counting 10 or 11? There's 11. The snap goes over the head of the punter, back inside the 10, picked up at the 5, trying to find a way to get it away. He won't, and he's tackled at the 5-yard line. That snap was nowhere near the punter to be able to have any opportunity to field it. So East Nashville is going to have outstanding field position, obviously, as they will start from the Panthers' 7-yard line is where it's marked.
Kicking game just a big issue for Maplewood tonight. That time it was a snap. It wasn't pressure like it was the previous time. And now East Nashville right there on the doorstep with a chance to punch it in again with over 4 minutes still remaining in the first half.
Yep, 4:39 left to go in this opening half. 26-0 East Nashville Magnet leading, and now you would think this is just line up, hand it off, and see if you can just power it in and push the lead over 30.
Basically, you asked Johnson or Anderson, which one of you want the ball?
Right now it is Johnson in the backfield. Lamb at quarterback in the shotgun. Johnson standing to his left. And now a penalty flag. I think they took a little too much time. If there's one thing that East Nashville's head coach Damian Harris is not going to be happy about, is penalties. They've had a few in this contest.
3 snap penalties. They've had personal foul penalties. Also had a defensive holding that cost them an interception. Again, really the only 2 things we've seen tonight that have been weaknesses have been the penalties and also the kickoff coverage.
There's the stat, 60 yards in penalty yardage in this first half. So 1st and goal now back at the 12-yard line. Snap in the shotgun, handoff Johnson, bounces it to the right, gets the 10, gets the 5, gets inside the pylon. Is it a touchdown? Yes, it is. Touchdown, East Nashville Magnet. Johnson scores again. That's his 3rd of the night. 8 carries, 73 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
What made that play was the offensive line, because even though he bounced it out to the outside, the offensive line just took the D-line and pushed them back a good 3 to 5 yards and won that battle. That allowed the play to get spread out a little bit more, and he could take it across in the front corner of the end zone.
So the extra point to come. Now, I think they've brought another kicker in. They've
been rotating.
Yeah, they've been. This is, I think, the 3rd extra point attempter they have had. High snap, they get it down. Line drive kick is up, and it is through. 4:02 left in this first half, and East Nashville Magnet dominating. It's 32-33 to nothing over Maplewood on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
The Atlanta Braves are back, and this 2023 team is ready for another epic season.
1-1 pitch. There's a deep drive to left center field. This thing is clear for takeoff. Back-to-back home runs, Ozuna and Riley.
Catch the 2023 Atlanta Braves right here on Music City's home for Braves baseball. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
You're listening to WNSR, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. Now back to the live action with Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
Well, East Nashville Magnet well on its way to go into 4-0 on the season. They lead Maplewood 33-0 with 4:02 left to go in the opening half. In case you're wondering, in Tennessee high school football, there is the policy for a running clock after a score gets 30 points or more ahead, but it does not kick in according to the referee Bill Plants. He told me it does not kick in until the second half. So we will not according to that, have a running clock here for the last 4:02 of this first half. But Maplewood desperately in need of something positive offensively. They have had no luck tonight whatsoever.
Yeah, they had one drive that they benefited from several East Nashville penalties, and then special teams play has also been a big factor.
Low bounding kick picked up and now dropped, now picked up again at the 15, reversing from the left to about the 20-yard line. That's going to be all on the return. That was Teasley with the return. And maybe at about the, now a little frustration as we see on the field, a little pushing and shoving going on, and that's understandable, I guess, to a degree when you have a bit of a one-sided score this early.
Also a local rivalry. You just go down Ellington Parkway
Not
between
too
these
far.
two schools.
That's right.
Yep.
And the clock was running for a moment. Now they've cut it to 3:35. It ran for a little bit there extra, but now it's at 3:35 to go in this first half.
Actually, I like that the officials, even though there was a little bit of pushing at the end of that play, that they didn't throw any flags on that. Just had the kids calm down, send them to the benches. I thought that was good discretion by the Stripes.
And I see now the referee, Bill Plant's coming over to have a brief discussion with the coaches for Maplewood and just kind of say, okay, that was the one. We're going to, after that, we're going to have to tighten up a little bit.
That's
so
good game management.
I agree.
Yeah.
Boy, a lot of these guys, you talk about unsung heroes. I talked to one of the officials earlier. A lot of these guys are calling 3 and 4 games a week, calling middle school, JV, wherever they can. Low snap picked up off the ground and nowhere to go. And once again, a little bit of a snap issue, and the ball was fumbled and picked up by East Nashville. So it just continues, and I believe that is Tariq Lawson who picked up the fumble.
Yeah, it wasn't a good snap. Ball hit the turf really early. I thought that Maplewood had fallen back on it because I did see the beanbag get thrown by the official, but instead it was East Nashville with the football and an injured Maplewood player right now.
One Maplewood player that's getting some help from his teammates coming off the field, and I believe that is Morris. That is Xavier Morris, who is their starting tailback, also plays on the defensive side of the football, and he is being helped off, putting no weight on his left foot at all.
I think he got twisted up at the bottom of that pile.
Yep. So it just goes from bad to worse for the Panthers right now. Looking at the clock, 3:28 left in this first half. It's pretty much been played entirely in the Maplewood end of the field. East Nashville Magnet leading 33-0, and obviously knocking on the door once again and looking to pass this time to the end zone, and that pass is incomplete. Threw one to the back left corner of the end zone, and was not a bad throw, but could not come down with it.
Through that fade, he was caught, but he was out of bounds, and looks like that play that we saw earlier that was able to force the DPI. They went to the well again, trying to run that flag route to the back corner. And like I said, he came up with it, but he was out of bounds.
That was Woodard they were looking for, made the catch out of the end zone, brings up 2nd down and 10. Handoff tailback. This is Anderson, hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces off and just keeps going, just like a pinball inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, and he got about 8 yards out of nothing.
Well, I said Fred Taylor earlier. That was MJD right there, Maurice Jones-Drew run, just bouncing off of people and able to get positive yardage.
Actually, they're going to give him 9 all the way down to the 7-yard line. 3rd down and 1. Clock is running. 2:40 left in this opening half.
And again, it's just a notable size advantage between East Nashville and Maplewood in the trenches.
Pistol formation. Keeper by the quarterback around left end, and he will waltz into the end zone for a very easy touchdown as Lamb goes in untouched inside the pylon. And this offense on full display tonight against this Maplewood defense, as the score now 39-0 with the extra point to come.
If you're an East Nashville opponent in the future and you're looking at this tape, you're talking to your line and going, guys, you're going to have to find a way to make plays and slow down this offense because they can bring one of 3 runners at you at any given time.
Yep, they can do it with a quarterback. They've got a couple of tailbacks. They've done it with handoffs to wide receivers coming through. So now on for the extra point once again. And that kick.
Best kick of the game.
Yeah, I believe there was a whistle that stopped it, though. It was a dead ball offsides. It was the best point after the game, as a matter of fact, but nonetheless.
It was a beautiful kick. Unfortunately, it's just not going to count.
Well, this is where you have to get a little bit concerned, don't you, Jonathan? Things can get certainly sloppy. You know, it's 39-0. You're still in the first half. And human nature takes over a little bit. You have to kind of worry about that, I think.
And again, I think the officials have done a good job managing the game so far. When we've had a few pushes and a few scraps at the end of a play, they've been able to manage that. They haven't been real happy with throwing the flag. So when you get into the second half and you have a running clock, you definitely have to be watching for that.
Now, they technically declined the penalty, so they didn't move it any closer. It's still at the point where it would be for a regular extra point snap. Good job by getting that hold down. It was a little bit high, and a line drive that barely cleared the crossbar but got through. 40-0. East Nashville Magnet dominating this first half over Maplewood. 1:50 to go in the half on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athletes. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators to display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit jodyjonesdds.com or call 615-259-5100.
Welcome back to the MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Here's Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
It was an East Nashville Magnet team that went 12-3 last year. They lost to Alcoa, almost getting all the way, as a matter of fact. Lost 45-26, had playoff wins over White House, Waverly Central, Smith County, and Covington. They've knocked on the door a couple of times. Looks to me, Jonathan, like they're planning on knocking on the door again this year.
Yeah, that other loss last year was against Riverdale and Smith County. So a Smith County regular season loss, then beat them in the playoffs en route to the final.
That kick is going to scoot past the 10 to the 5. It's going to make it to the end zone. Is it? No, it didn't. I believe they had to recover it inside the 1-yard line. The Maplewood player was hoping that ball would get to the end zone and would be down and be a touchback. It did not. So he pounced on it at the 1, and that's where the Panthers will start.
That kick was like a NASCAR race because it just took a sharp turn there going into turn 1 and turn 2. Instead of bouncing into the end zone, it found a beeline toward the sideline and just kind of tight-roped that goal line. So that was just a really unfortunate bounce.
As my great friend, the late Mark Howard, used to like to hear me say, it got a little squirrely in the corner.
Rest in peace, our good friend Mark.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, the Panthers start from their own 1-yard line. At this point, 1:44 left before the half ends. You're just trying to get out of here without giving up anything else. I mean, quarterbacks sneak a couple of times and try to get a little bit of room.
Yeah, just don't turn it over.
Everything that could go East Nashville Magnet's way has, except penalties that have been against the Eagles. High snap. Darden finds a way to secure it and gets out to about the 2-yard line. They've had issues all night long. That snap was high and bobbled, but he was able to save it and get upfield, make a good read, and at least get a couple of yards on the play.
Yeah, to even get a couple of yards in that play, I think was really good on the part of Darden because he had to get that, and then he had pressure coming right at him. He's able to find a little bit of a seam and fall forward.
1:10 left in the half. Once again, going from the shotgun formation. Darden looking to throw out of his end zone down the near sideline, incomplete. That's well defended. That's how you do it, too. The defender sort of pressed him toward the sideline, didn't he, Jonathan? That was Burgess, Carlisle Burgess, who just kind of had him pinned right on the sideline.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Able to use his body, pin him to the sideline. Actually pinned him out of bounds. The receiver, I think, went out of bounds. Was able to use his shoulders and his arms, not necessarily his hands. Great play.
The negative to that, incomplete, stops the clock. 57 seconds left in the half. Now 3rd down and 9. I was going to say in the shadow of their own end zone. They're in their own end zone. Darden's going to try the same play once again, and then once again throws it out of bounds. That's going to stop the clock. It's going to bring up 4th down with 50 seconds left in the half. And
Well, and anything can happen right here because they've already had a bad snap. They've had the punter try to make a play when he couldn't get a kickoff before, so anything could happen right now.
I guess one side of it is when it gets to 40-0, what the heck, it doesn't matter. But, boy, 2 incompletions now give East Nashville Magnet a great opportunity to tack on a little more.
Second pass was the same as the first. They just went right back to that receiver on the near side, and once again, Burgess was outstanding coverage.
Usher hoping for a chance standing back at the 40-yard line. Maplewood has had all kinds of issues with punting, with snapping the football tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here comes an 11th player. Maplewood has had issues at times with having all the right personnel on the field. So standing 8 yards deep in his own end zone to punt this ball away. It is partially blocked. It's going to be fielded at about the 5-yard line, picked up and taking it into the end zone. Is it a touchdown? And I'm waiting for the official signal from the official, and there it is. Touchdown, East Nashville Magnet. Boy, they just keep tacking it on. It was blocked, picked up in midair, and carried into the end zone for the touchdown.
So far this year, 6 defensive touchdowns for East Nashville, also 2 special teams touchdowns. And that's when you know you got a great team, when you can find multiple ways through all 3 phases of the game to put points on the board.
That was Jordan Houston with that pick out of midair and taking it into the end zone. So 46-0, 39 seconds left. And once again, when the second half begins, we will have a running clock, because once the lead gets to be 30 in the second half, that is the case. Extra point is up, and it is good. And we'll keep it here with 29 seconds left. And I think we all knew coming into this game, East Nashville was clearly the more dominant team, but you never quite know for sure. But boy, tonight they've had everything go their way.
We knew it had the potential to be like this. I wouldn't have expected 47 points in the first half. Unfortunately, another special teams mistake right there for Maplewood, and that's really come back to bite them tonight. You mentioned Houston with the touchdown. He had a fumble recovery return and an interception return already this season. That's his 3rd touchdown between special teams and on defense.
Talented player, senior, leading tackler coming into this game for them defensively as well.
Yeah,
so
28 tackles.
Yep. So now East Nashville Magnet to kick it away. This Maplewood team 3-8 last year. Chris Simpson in his first year as the head coach, and obviously got some work to do, but this is where the pride issue comes in. You got to, when they go into the locker room at halftime, talking about how you're going to react here to come out in this second half.
And again, a Maplewood program that was in the semifinal just back in 2018.
Not too long, that's right. Kick is in the air, fielded at the 14-yard line. Coming left to the 20, to the 25, tackled at the 27. And you can already see some of the little more casual things kicking in, like East Nashville was clearly offsides on the kickoff. And it was like, okay, let it go. We're fine. Let's just try to get to the locker room and see if we can get this thing rounded up with 19 seconds left before halftime.
Coach Harris is going to have to work with the special teams, because when it's come to the punts, it's been outstanding. And a lot of that's been self-inflicted by Maplewood. But their kickoff coverage tonight, even that one, that was a pretty nice return.
Yep, they've had some really good returns. They had one that was across midfield, as a matter of fact, tonight. So 17 seconds left officially. And out of the shotgun on first down. Quarterback keeper runs left to the 30, to the 35, hit out of bounds at about the 35, 36-yard line. And that was a nice run by Darden, and that's going to officially end the first half. So Maplewood will go and try to regroup a little bit. East Nashville, a couple of players over here on the sideline, and a little bit of conversation with a couple of the Maplewood coaches, as a matter of fact. So we got to get that settled down, and they do, and head the other way. All Eagles after one half of play. 47-0, East Nashville with the lead. Stay with us. We'll come back with more on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world-famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Jackson Boone Racing. The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series Championship at Nashville Fairground Speedway. Jackson Boone Racing. A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old. Jackson Boone Racing. Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service, along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front. Jackson Boone Racing. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike, Southern Trophy has been serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 62 years. Southern Trophy offers a wide array of services like custom designed awards, cast bronze plaques, etched crystal awards, laser engraved corporate gifts, promotional items, merch, embroidery, screen printing, signage, and banners. Browse their entire collection online at southerntrophy.com or on Facebook at Southern Trophy. Feel free to give them a call at 615-256-7295. That's 615-256-7295. Southern Trophy. They do their best to help you recognize your best.
You're listening to WNSR, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. Now back to the live action with Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
Well, about as dominant a first half as you will ever see. Joe Fisher along with Jonathan Schaefer here from Maplewood High School, and it's been all the visitors. East Nashville Magnet, the Eagles, leading Maplewood 47-0. They've dominated in every single category, as you can imagine. All kinds of factors in this. There was a pick six involved. There was a punt block that was returned for a touchdown. There was another punt that was miscued that was picked up at the 1-yard line. Pretty much everything that could go wrong for Maplewood did. Everything that could go right for East Nashville did. And the score is the results.
There was only really one drive there with Maplewood down 19-0 where they had a chance. And to be fair, it was East Nashville contributing a lot of penalty yardage to that. But Maplewood had a 4th and short situation, end up getting a penalty, made it 4th and long, turned the ball over on downs. And then since then, East Nashville hasn't looked back. Really been a struggle on special teams for Maplewood, even just getting the ball back to the punter and keeping pressure off of him. As you mentioned, the punter ate one at one point because he couldn't get the kick off. There was a snap that went back into the end zone, had a blocked kick as well. So that has been a huge factor in this, plus a pick six, and it has been all East Nashville so far.
KJ Johnson leading the way rushing-wise, 73 yards, couple of touchdowns to lead the Eagles. Also 20 yards and a touchdown as well for the quarterback, Martez Lamb. They haven't asked him to really do very much passing the football. He hasn't really have to. They've been able to just kind of run the ball. They've taken advantage of the short field. They've taken advantage of turnovers over and over again. And, in fact, 4 of 6 passing for 41 yards is Lamb. But you look at the other side, Maplewood held to 48 yards of total offense. As they've just not been able to get anything going whatsoever. So now, Jonathan, you're sitting in the locker room. You're Maplewood. You're down. Well, let's put it both ways. Yeah. You're down 47-0. How do you approach that? The other is you're on the other side. You're up 47-0.
Your Maplewood just play clean football. Whoever you have out there on the field, just don't turn it over anymore. Just execute the fundamentals of the game. Not give East Nashville any more chances. And if you're East Nashville, you've got the opportunity now to get some of your bench players in there, get more experience. You can try a few things in the air if you want to.
Yeah.
Right now, really, if you're East Nashville, And it's not to be condescending, but in the second half, you can kind of treat it as a scrimmage, and you can try out a lot of different things if you want to. Or let's not forget, it's going to be a running clock, so it's going to move very quick here in this second half.
Yep.
If you're East Nashville, just cut down on your own mistakes as well. Play clean football.
Both bands scheduled to perform here. We have East Nashville's band performing right now. They'll be followed by the Maplewood band as well. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Q Joseph, Will Brown will update you on everything going on in the Mid-State and high school football. Coming up on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
This is the Greg Vogue and John Burton Show.
You know, you never know who you're going to run into at Nashville. Here's
well, you sure don't, do you, Greg? when J. Prue came in, I thought that was going to be the one, but just didn't turn out very good. He wore the napkin over his face and stuff. I don't know what we were doing, but it sure was a lot of fun.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athlete. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators to display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit jodyjonesdds.com or call 615-259-5100.
When you want down-home cooking, just head downtown. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel serves traditional Southern cooking, sourced fresh and local, just like Grandma used to make. Start your day with a Southern smoked breakfast bowl or a Music City omelet. If you're looking for variety, hit the biggest breakfast buffet in Music City or get your fill at the world-famous Biscuit Bar. Kitchen Notes dishes up lunch with traditional Southern tomato pie, country ham, and classic picnic ambrosia. Serving breakfast Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10:30 and lunch is served 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Kitchen Notes doesn't forget the brunch crowd. Brunch at Kitchen Notes is every Friday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. featuring cast iron pancakes, made to order waffles and eggs, and ice cold carafes of mimosas. Enjoy farm to table Southern dishes made from treasured family recipes. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
The MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week will continue shortly. Now, here's your scoreboard update from the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio.
Well, fans, welcome to another broadcast of the WNSR MidState Checkdown Game of the Week. This is Will Brown, Q Joseph right across from you.
What's going on? What's going on?
Man, not much, but hey, what's going on in some of these finals from Thursday and some pretty interesting football so far on a lovely Friday evening out there in the Mid-State area. We'll go through the Thursday finals. Clarksville blanking Hopkinsville High School, obviously out of Kentucky, 42-0. Memphis Mitchell, 60, Bluff City, unable to get on the board. Sheffield 44, Hamilton 38, Westwood 40, Manassas 0. We do have one final right now. Rockwood 49, Sunbright 0. We're going to go through some other scores for you. Science Hill 13, Union out of Virginia yet to get on the board. Eagleton Academy, a team that is 0-3, playing West Green right now. That score 14-6, my last update that I got on that one. William Blount 21, Morristown 14. That one is at halftime. West 21, Maryville 7, Powell 34, Heritage 10. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch Stephen Souls Jr. play, man, a sight to see on the defensive line. That's a young man with some really nasty hands at the high school level. Henry County 6, Brentwood 3. So a defensive struggle going on right now. And Q Joseph, I don't know if you've ever had a chance to go down to Sumner County and watch some of the Sumner County schools play, but I promise you, you'll enjoy it. Beach 14, a very athletic Portland team yet to get on the board. That was my last score update for that game. Gallatin and Dixon County, those two teams tied at 7. Westview, I'm sure you know the name Ty Simpson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ty Simpson trying to get on the field at the University of Alabama. His father, Jason Simpson, guess where he coaches?
Where's that?
UT Martin.
Okay.
So Westview 28, Liberty yet to get on the board, early stages of the third quarter. West Creek 7, and the Kenwood program 0, Baylor 21. The Baylor School out of East Tennessee, Lipscomb Academy. We all know Deuce Knight, one of the top quarterbacks here in the state of Tennessee, transferred from Mississippi and has now left the Lipscomb Academy program. So right now, the Mustangs of Lipscomb Academy down 21-10 over the Baylor School. And the Baylor School, very disciplined program. I mean, they do not do much wrong down there. CAK or Christian Academy of Knoxville 30, Grace Christian 14. Davidson Academy 22, BGA 7. Innsworth, Knox Catholic, both tied at 14. That was my last score update. These two teams, Q Joseph, both 3-0 on the year. Now, two teams looking for a win. Pope John Paul Preparatory School, as most know them as JP2, right. 27. The Webb School. We'll get a chance to talk with headman Evan Gay at the end of this broadcast. A very interesting man with an interesting story. So, sight to hear, if you would. Pope Prep 27, Webb School 0. That game is at halftime. So, again, I mean, right now, I know you and I have been talking in the studio. This is when teams, you're starting to see what you're going to get.
Yeah, week 4, man, you're starting to see teams become who they're going to be for the rest of the season. For the most part. For the most part. I mean, there's still a give and take, but if you start the season off 3-0 or you start the season 0-3, you kind of start to see, okay, this is what the team is going to be for the next few weeks.
Yeah, and I think I agree and disagree with that because, I mean, a lot of these teams are playing their new TSSAA agreed upon schedules
right
for the first time. And a lot of these schools with the TSSAA doing their redistrict, schools like the Webb School have went from Division II 1A, and they have now moved up to AA. Yeah. So which puts them at an obvious disadvantage because this is a school that has 480 students total.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, man. Just like I said, man. This is where you see where the fight is. This is where you see where your grit is. This is where you see what type of team you have. And we talked about teams across the district, across the state that have discipline and don't have discipline. Talking about this game, talking about an undisciplined team. We're talking about, Maplewood, who is down 47 in the first half.
I mean, and we all know this is a team. I mean, and if you do your research, I mean, this is East Nashville, Maplewood. Both of these schools are in East Nashville, not separated by very many miles. Right. Bubba Spears is the reason why East Nashville as a football program was even started.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of history with this game. And at one point in time, I mean, these two teams were very intense rivals. Two teams with new head coaches in their first year as first-time head coaches, Chris Simpson and Devin Harris for both of those programs. And, talking with Coach Simpson, he knows that he knows what he's gotten himself into. And that's no slight to the Maplewood program because this is a team that in 2018, made a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they're not too far removed from success. So, again, Coach Simpson, knowing what he has out there with his program, and this East Nashville team, they didn't really rebuild. they reloaded. This is a team that went to the state championship last year, and they tend to run into some really good teams. And right now, just getting another score update: Oakland 35, Antioch 0.
Yeah, and you know, like Joe and Jonathan said, you know, if I'm East Nashville, I'm not trying to run up the score, but I'm going a little deeper in my playbook. I'm testing out some things that, you know, I normally wouldn't in a regular game. I'm not saying trick plays or nothing like that, but maybe some trick plays. I mean, you're up 47. It's almost like the mindset, what do you have to lose? Again, you're not trying to be mean, trying to be a bully and run up the score, but if I'm a coach, I'm testing out some plays.
And you know what? And you take the East Nashville approach. I'm going to take the Maplewood approach. Now it's, you know, Friday night under the lights. Things are not going your way.
Yeah.
You know, who can step up and not necessarily be the hero, but say, hey, you know, adversity has struck. We're obviously in a game that is not in our favor.
Yeah.
And who is going to really go out there and give it to them? Because, and I'm going to take this years back, and then we're going to go to break and send it back to the guys. You remember when, I think it was the 2010 season, the Titans and the Patriots played each other.
Yeah.
And it was 59. I want to say that score was 59-10. And Keith Bullock went on a podcast, and he was talking about, you know what, obviously we're not going to win this game, but we're going to give the Patriots everything we have.
Yeah.
And I say all that to say, is this Maplewood program, albeit you're overmatched, undermanned, this team is obviously better than you. You know, again, no slight to either one of these programs. You got another 24 minutes to go out there and give this East Nashville team everything you have and then some.
Right.
So let's see what happens. And I like what you said about East Nashville. Let's just throw out the playbook. Let's put in some of our second and third team players. We score. But let's see what we got out there. And for Maplewood, let's see what we got left. So with all that being stated, we're going to throw it back to the guys. This is the WNSR MidState Checkdown Game of the Week. Back with Joe and Jonathan Schaefer on the other end.
Jackson Boone Racing. The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series championship at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Jackson Boone Racing. A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old. Jackson Boone Racing. Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front. Jackson Boone Racing. If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike, Southern Trophy has been serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 62 years. Southern Trophy offers a wide array of services like custom designed awards, cast bronze plaques, etched crystal awards, laser engraved corporate gifts, promotional items, merch, embroidery, screen printing, signage, and banners. Browse their entire collection online at southerntrophy.com or on Facebook at Southern Trophy. Feel free to give them a call at 615-256-7295. That's 615-256-7295. Southern Trophy. They do their best to help you recognize your best. It's the MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Joe Fisher with play-by-play and Jonathan Schaefer with color analysis. Now to the field for your second half coverage. Here's Joe Fisher.
Left on the halftime clock. Will Brown, Q Joseph here at our WNSR studios, the Strike and Spare Fun studios to be exact. A few more scores, man. Dixon County down 20-6. White House 14, Whites Creek 7 a game at halftime. Springfield 21 and Station Camp 13. Right now, Hendersonville all over Hunters Lane, 41-0. And now Pope Prep 27, the Webb School 0, Beach 21, Portland 0. So what we'll do, those are a few scores we got during our break. We'll now take it back to the guys, Joe and Jonathan. It's all you.
Their 25th class reunion. Also, we'd like to recognize the class of 1986. Welcome back to the campus of Maplewood High School.
Well, as we get set for the second half, 47-0 East Nashville Magnet with the lead. And Jonathan Schaefer, Joe Fisher here with you in the booth. We don't have these kind of games very often. They don't happen this much. And so now you're in a situation, the official, Bill Plants, just came over and made the signal to the press box that the clock will be continuously running since the lead is 30 points or more in the second half. And it will stay that way if the clock or if the lead stays 30 points or more. I would assume you would see backups certainly on both sides of the football. But again, we were talking earlier, Jonathan, you just don't want to get sloppy. You don't want to start making a lot of mistakes, and you certainly don't want to get anybody hurt in this situation.
East Nashville's got the bigger roster, so they've got more of an opportunity to put backups into the game. But as you mentioned, you just want to get off the field healthy. Fortunately for East Nashville, we haven't seen any injuries on their part tonight. We did see one for Maplewood in the first half. But again, go out and play clean football. They've only really had an issue when it comes to the kickoff coverage, but the penalties have been a problem. So you want to set a goal going into the second half, no penalties. Now, it helps that you got a rolling clock. You're not going to have as many snaps.
Right.
But go out there, execute, play well, play fundamental. Don't have to take any kind of risk whatsoever. If you're Maplewood, you want these kids to come out here and, again, just give the best effort that they can, try to get a few points on the board.
I don't know the locker room situation here. East Nashville stayed out here during the halftime. They did not go back into a field house or a locker room. They just stayed over here on the far side. That's not that uncommon, in a lot of high schools that just don't have locker room situations where the opposing team can have a place to go. Nice, comfortable night, not that big a deal, but they just sat out in the end zone and kind of hung out and watched the bands for a while.
Yeah, tonight not much of an issue at all. Weather has been fantastic. Haven't had to worry about any severe weather or any kind of rain. Wind is actually whipped up a little bit here this evening, but nothing major. But you do have a field house here, but Maplewood is actually across the street.
Right.
And we actually got to see the band march from the school over here to the stadium and onto the field, which that was very exciting to see during the pregame.
So great sponsors that we have that help make these broadcasts available to you on Friday nights and maybe a couple of Thursday nights along the way. Jody Jones, DDS, our Player of the Week plaque sponsor, Jackson Boone Racing, our Omni Nashville Hotel sponsor, Strike and Spare, and, of course, Southern Trophy House. Great to have all of them on board here to help bring you high school football on Friday nights here on WNSR. Maplewood will get the opening kickoff. They will receive. They'll move right to left, and it'll be curious just to see who goes into the game, number one, whether it remains the quarterback, LaDavian Darden, or if they bring the freshman in Jayon Washington to get some snaps. We'll see about that, how they approach it. Again, once the clock will continue, once the clock starts, the clock will run continuously with this 47-point lead.
And maybe with East Nashville, you have a little bit of a kicking competition because we've seen three different kickers come into the game tonight. And
at least three.
You've got to be able to kick well when you get into the playoffs.
Low kick is going to bounce inside the 10, is going to die right there. Picked up on a nice scoop at the 10-yard line, breaking a tackle to about the 15, dragged down at the 17. That could have been a lot worse. That ball could have been tackled and stopped inside the 10-yard line, but a good job there to at least field it and have an opportunity to start at about the 17-yard line. So let's see what Maplewood elects to do. And I see number 0, Darden, going back out there again at quarterback. So he will at least get the opening drive of this third quarter.
I don't ever recall seeing a quarterback wearing number 0.
I was trying to think of that too. I don't recall one. I'm sure that I've come across one, but I don't remember it. And he is going to be in the shotgun formation to start things up. And again, the clock is running, so we're already 1 minute into this third quarter. First down for Maplewood from their own 17-yard line. Darden has gone all the way at quarterback. Has a man in motion and now a whistle, and that's going to stop play. And, well, that's the last thing you want to see as a coach to come out. And that's an encroachment again on East Nashville. That's, what, the third of those they've had in this game.
They've been super aggressive trying to shoot the A and B gaps when it comes to getting to Darden, the quarterback, and that time they got called for another penalty.
So 1st and 5 now after the penalty. Penalty yardage, I believe Maplewood has more yards gained in penalties than they do on offense. And a carry and a short gain. I know there were over 60 yards of penalties, 65 yards of penalties, and I believe offense was like, 48, I believe, something like that in the first half. So the penalties have been their best offensive weapon so far. Second down, and let's call it a long 3. Ball at the 22-yard line.
I do want to say a nice crowd here in the class of, I believe, 1986 they mentioned was meeting here tonight as well at Maplewood.
Handoff into the middle, breaking a tackle, but not able to get away on the right side is going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3 situation. So Maplewood keeps the ball on the ground a couple of times and trying to find somebody that can find a little bit of gap. That was Sabley, who's been about their best offensive threat to run the football tonight. 7 carries, 15 yards. I mean, they've just got the biggest plays Maplewood has had all night has been kickoff returns.
Yeah,
they've had some good chunks in that.
And I'm just scanning the 11 out there defensively for East Nashville. They have many of their backups in.
3rd and 4, quarterback trying to keep going nowhere. Dropped all the way back at the 16-yard line. Tremendous pursuit there defensively. That was number 49, I believe, was the number that came up with that play. Chauncey Anthony, that's right, a sophomore who makes that tackle. And that's going to bring up another adventure for Maplewood because the punting game has really struggled tonight.
You mentioned, what do you want to focus on in the second half? Execute the play. Get it back to the punter. Be able to block, get the kickoff, execute the play, get some positivity going.
And Usher is standing back at midfield saying, just give me a chance. Kick one out here to give me a chance to bring it back. I'm averaging 18 yards per return on the season. Haven't had a shot at one tonight. Some of the Maplewood players trying to make sure they're all positioned where they're supposed to be now. This snap is a good one, a little bit high, but they get this one away. A nice spiral fielded by Usher at the 43. Runs left to the 40 to the 35. Breaks a tackle to the 30, still on his feet, 25-yard line. Penalty flag is down at about the 32-yard line. So Usher finally got opportunity and returned it about his average, about 18 yards, but there is a flag down at the 32.
And he did a pretty good job using the stiff arm. He was able to shake off 3 would-be Maplewood tacklers, working it to the far sideline.
So let's see what this flag is as Bill Plants comes over, says it's a personal foul, and it's on East Nashville. So if there's going to be one thing that I believe the coach is going to focus on after this game, it's going to be penalties. So they'll walk that one back all the way back to about the 47-yard line.
That takes the total up to 80 yards on penalties so far for East Nashville.
Clock continues to run. Once again, remember, this is a continuous clock. Once the lead gets to 30 points or more in the second half of a contest, and it was that way in the first half, but that does not apply until the second half. So East Nashville gets an 11th man on very quickly, brings him to the far side of the field as a wide receiver standing right on the numbers at midfield. High snap, new quarterback in the game. Pass to the far side, caught 45-40, 35 to the 32-yard line. And that is Dallas Covington. That is the second pass he's thrown this year. It's the second pass he's completed. His quarterback rating, if he was in the NFL, he'd be making Joe Burrow money. 145.8 is his quarterback rating.
And Joe Burrow getting over $200 million guaranteed in that contract he agreed to.
Highest paid NFL player ever. One day after Nick Bosa got rich.
As my friends would say, he got broke off.
Got broke off, that's right. Handoff, tailback running right to the 30, tries to break it outside, upended at about the 26. There's a penalty flag behind the play. That's most likely going to be a hold. It's going to bring that back. You're starting to see a lot of new faces now on the field for East Nashville, and as a result, you might see more penalties.
Which is not what Damian Harris, their head coach, wants to hear.
And that's an illegal use of hands or a block in the back on the Eagles, and that will bring that back to the 36-yard line. Boy, interesting that, you know, the best benefactors in the Burrow-Bosa deals were the agents because it was the same company. They cut both deals.
That was a really good week.
Yes, it was. From the shotgun, pass incomplete. That ball was not too far out of the range of the intended receiver, but unable to come away with it on the pass from Covington. And that was intended for Anthony Martin. And that'll bring up a second down and 13. That's the first incompletion for Covington this year. He's going to keep. Tries the left side, not much. Good defense that time by Maplewood. They sort of, one of the things you like to do is turn that back into the traffic, and he did that, and that ball only carried for a yard or so.
Yeah, good execution that time. And Covington getting into the game as just a freshman. Mentioned with Martez Lamb getting the start tonight, a junior. Again, it's impressive how East Nashville's gone to a state final 2 years in a row, and you still have a lot of underclassmen out there performing well.
3rd and 12, ball at the 35-yard line. Covington to pass, looking long, throws into double coverage, penalty flag. Going to be at least a hold or a pass interference on Maplewood back at the 12-yard line.
Last time I saw that much grabbing of a jersey was a hockey fight.
Yeah, you were throwing the flag before they did. You had that. No, that's got to be. That's got to be.
He held the
yeah, it was pretty easy.
Receiver's jersey for a good 10 yards down the field.
That's when the officials go, yeah, I got this one. That's not a problem.
Like everybody, calm down, guys.
Everybody's going to agree with that one. Not a worry.
I threw 2 flags on that play.
Yeah. So let's see where they're going to spot it officially. Teams have lined up like it's going to be spotted at about the 20 or 21, and I believe that's where they're going to put it. They're going to put it at the 21. Both teams knew where it was going. That was pretty good. First down from the 21 of Maplewood. Little misdirection, bobbled ball. It's loose, pounced on by Covington, but they lost 2 or 3 yards. Tried a little bit of that old veer move, had a couple of different running backs coming from different directions, and it got bobbled, but fortunately for Covington and for East Nashville, they were able to get back on it.
Veer is not a word we hear with spread offense very often, that's for sure, but the handoff was made. Fuller couldn't handle it. Actually, good job by Covington that time, just falling on the football.
Second down and 15. Passing, high arching pass that's going to be incomplete. There's another penalty flag. Boy, every time they throw long on Maplewood, and you've called it, Jonathan, where they have one-on-one, they have found that and thrown to it and got the flag almost every time.
I like to call it the Joe Flacco special, where he's just going to throw it deep and try to get that flag, get the DPI. They've done that a few times already here tonight.
Kenneth Pullins-Ross was the one on coverage that time, and boy, you're kind of out on an island there as the corner, and so I would think you would walk that from the 25 or 26 about halfway, so it'd be about the 13-yard line.
That's about right, about
That's
12 and a
where
half.
they'll put it down. Yeah. Antioch High School math coming through again.
Outstanding.
So just throwing it up, 3 pass attempts in a row, 3 pass interference calls in a row. Out of the shotgun, handoff, tailback, nice cut up the middle, gets to the 5, hit hard, bangs it down to about the 2-yard line. That was a really nice run. And that was Kenny Fuller, the sophomore, who's lined up as a receiver, but he actually has more yards rushing than receiving this year, and you can see why.
What I like about that play, you're faking the jet sweep. You've got the running back coming in right behind him at the handoff. It's a tough play to defend.
Straight give. Fuller bounces it out to the left, and he'll stroll into the end zone for an easy East Nashville Eagles touchdown.
It'll be Eagles touchdown.
So once again, taking advantage of a relatively short field, they have played practically the entire game in Maplewood's territory tonight. And that pushes the score to 53-0 with the extra point to come.
I believe Maplewood only 1 drive into territory against East Nashville, and that was due to a kickoff and a penalty.
In case you're wondering, the clock does stop after a touchdown. It has 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Running clock after the lead gets to be 30 points or more in the second half of a game. Extra point is up. And this one is good. 8 plays, 47 yards, 5 minutes and change off the clock. Fourth different point after kicker tonight. That's the biggest competition for East Nashville tonight. 2:10 left in the third. 54-0 Eagles on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
The TSU Tigers football season is underway, and it's time to show your Big Blue pride at home games this season. Coach Eddie George enters his third season looking for a championship in the all-new Big South OVC football alignment with 5 home games at Nissan Stadium. The first is the 25th annual John Merritt Classic, September 16th, when the Tigers host new league rival Gardner-Webb. And there's nothing like homecoming versus Norfolk State on October 14th, and 3 more home games after that. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit TSUTigers.com. And as always, go Big Blue.
Welcome back to the MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Here's Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
Thank you, John Young. 54-0. This kick is a good one, and it's going to be fielded at about the 10-yard line, 15, 20. Bouncing out 25. Nice cut back to the 30. Up to close to the 35-yard line. I tell you, if there's one thing Maplewood has done pretty well tonight, it's been kickoff returns. They have done a nice job of getting decent yardage on those opportunities.
I think most of the reel is going to be, if you're East Nashville and Damian Harris, we've got to stop this. It doesn't matter who we're playing, doesn't matter the level of competition. We've got to do a better job of holding our assignments, holding our lanes, instead of getting caught up, all of us bunched up, trying to get to the kick returner.
Well, Darden returns at quarterback. He has gone all the way for Maplewood, and he will be out there once again in the shotgun. And once again, Maplewood gets a player off the sideline very late. He jumps into the slot on the left. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Boy, and once again, East Nashville crowding the line of scrimmage, and I believe that's going to be the 4th encroachment penalty on the night.
And I believe that puts it up to 90 yards in penalties for the evening, too.
First down.
I don't know why the clock is not running. It's supposed to be running in continuous form with 1:07 left. We should be in a continuous clock run at this point. Now they finally got it started again. At this point, I would imagine both coaches would be really kind of happy if it just kind of kept running. 1st and 5 after the penalty. Shotgun formation for Darden. Man in motion right to left. Handoff, tailback, tries to bounce it left, really nowhere to go. Got hit at the 41, did a nice job just with power of getting out to about the 43-yard line, and that was all just individual effort on that carry and being helped up at the last second from that run, and I believe that was Savely again, and he's been a bright spot for them tonight.
Yeah, he's had a nice game. You mentioned he had no place to go, and he really didn't, but he found a way, just kept his legs moving. He was going a bit laterally in that situation, was able to pick up a few more yards, set up 2nd and short.
2nd and 2, as a matter of fact. Game clock with 12 seconds left to go in this 3rd quarter in this continuously running clock. Let's see if they snap it before it gets to 0. Looks like they will, and they do. Keeper, Darden runs left as the buzzer sounds to end the 30. Takes a shot at midfield, but it'll be a first down after a gain of 7. We go to the 4th. East Nashville, the Eagles from East Nashville Magnet leading Maplewood 54-0 on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
We all know that Nashville life can get hectic. In the middle of all the madness that is life, don't forget to take care of yourself. Treat yourself to Nashville's ultimate relaxation experience at Makara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. With services for men and women, Makara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel is your one-stop shop for full body treatment. Begin your experience in the exquisite relaxation room, then enjoy a full body treatment or even a couples massage before finishing in the salon. Located on the 4th floor of the Omni Nashville Hotel, Makara Spa is Nashville's highest quality self-care oasis. To book your experience or gain information on packages, call Makara Spa today at 615-761-3600. Again, 615-761-3600. Or log on to theomnihotel.com. And with every booking, you'll have free valet parking and rooftop pool access to enjoy the Music City skyline. And through Labor Day, enjoy the 4th floor spa terrace for only $20. Makara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
You're listening to WNSR, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. Now back to the live action with Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
We head to the 4th. East Nashville Magnet leading Maplewood 54-0. First down from midfield for the Panthers trying to get on the board, and once again, encroachment. That's going to be the 5th encroachment penalty on East Nashville Magnet tonight. And I don't know, Jonathan, we're kind of old school guys. If we had a day like that where you had that many penalties, Saturday was going to involve some running.
Let me put it this way. The steps here at Maplewood are very steep. He could bring his team up here and run the steps over the weekend.
That is 100 yards in penalties tonight. It's about the only thing that's gone wrong, but that's 100 yards in penalties. Keeper by Darden running to the right on the fake handoff. He'll push it inside the 40. That should be enough for a first down to the 39, and we got to clear a scrum back at the 50, but they all unpile civilly and get it done. First down for the Panthers. They haven't had a lot of those tonight.
Both teams have been finishing blocks beyond the shadow of the whistle at times, Joe.
6 first downs for the Panthers tonight. The band with a little something to get fired up about. Boy, you'd like at this point, just get the 0 off the board.
Yes.
Try to find a way. And timeout taken by Maplewood. So they take timeout with 10:57 left to play. This East Nashville team, they've got, you mentioned it, they've got some size. They've certainly got some speed. They've got some experience, but also youth. They have an interesting combination to kind of be able to keep this run they've had going.
Yeah, for them to go where they want to go, special teams, as we mentioned, they're going to have to be a little more consistent with that. And they've been able to just run through all their opponents so far this season. All 4 games, they've been able to run right through them. And I think a lot of that has to do with that offensive line, especially tonight. We mentioned just the size difference, the athleticism difference between East Nashville and Maplewood. Well, the Eagles have just owned the line of scrimmage all night long. And that's why you're going to see another very successful East Nashville season as they're well on their way to their 4th win in a row.
Going to be interesting to look at their schedule here in just a moment, as a matter of fact. First down after the timeout for the Panthers, just inside the East Nashville 39-yard line. They haven't been in that territory that often. Looking to pass, plenty of time. Firing far side pass caught at the 35. Trying to get to the middle. Now bounces back to the outside. Great cut. 30, 25, 20. Inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. That was a nifty move inside out to get it out to about the 16, and the best penetration in a long time for Maplewood.
Also, one of the rare times they haven't had 5 or more rushers going after the quarterback. Only sent 4 that time. Sat back in coverage. Nice play to be able to get it out to the edge and get a big play for Maplewood in the first down.
I think that was Hall with the reception to get it out there inside the 20-yard line to about the 16, and that'll bring up first down and 10. Clock is running, 10-10 left to play. Panthers trying to get on the board. Man in motion left to right. Darden in the gun, keeps, boy, a lot of traffic, bounces it out to the left, going nowhere. He is brought down from behind on excellent penetration there, as it was just a bunch of traffic, and that was Trotter that got into the back and was able to make the tackle for a loss all the way back to about the 23-yard line.
Pressure coming from every side. Just collapsed the pocket. There was nothing they could do on that. Darden made the best that he could of the situation, but still a big loss.
It is a good point here. The notes just made, the defensive starters are back out there. They want to preserve the shutout, and the starters for the offense want to get in the end zone. So there's a little bit to play for here in the last 9 minutes and change. Second down and 16. Darden looking to throw. Rush is coming. Breaks one tackle, bounces left, cuts it back inside, stays on his feet, now dragged down basically back to the line of scrimmage. He ran about 30 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gain a half a yard, and brings third down and 15. And now we got a little bit of woofing going on, and I see one player with a helmet off, and he is being dragged off the field by an assistant coach. Boy, what you do not want now is tempers to flail at this point in a game that's one-sided. And a couple of the East Nashville assistants jumped in there, Jonathan, and literally grabbed defensive linemen and pulled them off the field.
I don't know who the one player was, but an assistant went and grabbed him and took him 10 yards down the field into the sideline away from whatever was going on. So as we were a little fearful of, and we've seen before in these situations, a little bit of chirping, a little bit of talking here near the end.
This might be the official warning now. I'm thinking this is where the referee comes. He came over, and I don't know if he issued an official warning to the Maplewood bench as well, but he did talk to one of the players and basically said, we're not going to have that anymore. Clock is stopped on an official's timeout.
Yeah. And again, they didn't throw any flags that time either, but again, they're going to both coaches and saying, hey, no more of this.
And actually, he's sending the East Nashville players to the sideline.
Yeah.
He sent the Maplewood players to one sideline. He sent the East Nashville players to their sideline, and this is the huddle. Guys, we are not going to let this get out of hand in the last 8 minutes.
I think it's great officiating.
Yep.
They just stopped the clock there, had everybody go to the sideline. Everybody just cool down, calm down a little bit. Now Maplewood's coming back up onto the field as East Nashville met at the numbers on the far side. Everybody just take a breath and calm down. So I think that's really good officiating. And quite honestly, I think they've done a great job managing the game all night long.
I would agree. Yep. There have been a couple of occasions where you thought it might get a little bit too chippy, and they have stepped in and stopped it. 3rd and 15.
And they've helped calm the situation by keeping the flags in their pocket, which I think has been very smart.
3rd and 15 for the Panthers, trying to find a way to get on the board here tonight. Out of the shotgun, Darden. Rush is coming. Throws one off balance, incomplete. Boy, he was throwing off his back foot there with the pressure coming, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, you mentioned it was that long play where they only rushed 4, and Maplewood was able to get to the sideline and get into the red zone. It was the very next play where East Nashville then decided to bring their starters back in defensively, and they've been able to shut down Maplewood ever since.
So 4th down and 15. Obviously go for it here on 4th down. There haven't been a lot of plays tonight that have gone for this kind of distance other than basically kickoff returns, to be honest. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Shotgun formation for Darden. Steps up. Hit and dropped at the 25-yard line. Ball came out. Fumble was recovered. Not going to matter anyway. It was going to be a turnover on downs. But that's going to give it to the East Nashville Eagles on the turnover. And for the moment, we'll keep Maplewood off the scoreboard.
Yeah, 4-man rush that time. And Darden, for just a moment, had a chance to step in the pocket and maybe be able to scamper away, but it just closed on him way too quick.
We talked about what is coming for the Eagles. Next game, Liberty Creek. That's a road game.
Brand new school up there in Liberty Creek.
Then a big one. That's a good one. But then FRA.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes,
FRA
is
is very talented.
Mm-hmm.
So then they've got Smyrna, then Cane Ridge. So they've got a couple coming down the stretch here in the middle of the season that could get very interesting.
A Cane Ridge team that's really struggled this year.
They
Antioch
have.
was able to beat them a couple weeks ago.
Yep. So 1st down as the clock approaches 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. And I would imagine at this point for both these teams, it can't quite run fast enough.
And you could tell for East Nashville defensively, it was important for them to get that shutout. That's why they brought him back in.
Yep, they did want to preserve that. Handoff, tailback running left, cuts it right now to the 25, still in his feet, and then upended. What a great form tackle at the 29. Literally just picked him up and lifted his legs off the ground and planted him right there at the 29.
Well, we're in the South, so people will get this reference. That was an Arn Anderson spine buster on that play. The way he just picked him up and slung him down to the ground.
Tully Blanchard would have liked it.
Tully would have liked that.
Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5. It's going deep on the references there, Jonathan. That was good, man.
Mid-South wrestling.
That was really good.
Yes.
Covington at quarterback, the freshman.
Or Ron Simmons, that would have worked too.
Man in motion toward the formation. High snap, bobbled again. Covington just going to keep it. Run to his left, try to get what he can. He's actually going to get about 3 yards on the play. Both teams have had some issues off and on tonight with clean snaps in the shotgun.
And I'm sure that's another thing that Damian Harris is going to talk to his team about. They're up 54-0. They've owned this game, but there have been times tonight where the fundamentals have been a little bit difficult for each squad. But again, you've got an East Nashville squad that's looking to go 4-0, and they've scored 40 points or more in every single game so far this season.
Had 40 at halftime tonight, as a matter of fact. Third down and a long one. Clock running, 4:20 left to play. And East Nashville, as you would expect, kind of taking their time now, a little more time. They like to run tempo, but not in this situation. Handoff, tailback bounces right. Tries to get outside, well defended and stopped for the loss on the play. Fuller with the carry, and boy, he had nowhere to go. That was well defended by the Panthers, and that brings up fourth down. And now let's see what the Eagles elect to do on fourth down.
Well, Maplewood's done a good job defensively on this series, as tonight East Nashville hasn't had to punt a single time. I don't recall them having to punt.
They have not.
Yeah.
And looking at the sideline, deciding whether they're going to do it now. Fourth down and 3.
Mr. Johnny Newsom, if you are here, you can hear me. Please make your way to the press box. Thank you.
Taking their time. Clock is running, 3:20 left.
It looks like a delay is going to be coming up unless they call a time.
Yeah, the play clock is off, so.
Unless they call a timeout.
See what they're going to elect to do here. They're just going to let it run all the way down. Then they'll take the timeout. Now the decision for East Nashville, will they punt the ball away or will they go ahead and go for it on fourth down?
What I'm impressed about with East Nashville, many things to be impressed about. They play and look bigger than a 3A school.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's really impressive about them, because you see them play. If you were just a neutral coming to this game tonight and guessing the size of the school, you'd look at East Nashville and think, that's like a 5A program.
Yep. And not only in terms of size, but in terms of numbers.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, a lot of the teams at this level just don't have the sheer numbers, and so East Nashville ready to go. Looks like they're going to punt, at least lining up to do so. Maplewood breaking their huddle at the last second and getting back out there now. So the first punt of the night for the Eagles. And it comes with 3 minutes left in the contest. Punter standing back at about the 15-yard line. Return man at the 40. This is a low end over end, bounds inside midfield and going to die at about the 45-yard line. Everybody trying to get out of the way and make sure they don't touch it. And it's down at about the 46-yard line.
Had a bit of a live grenade element to it. Everybody was just diving to get out of the way.
Quite a game last night, huh, to start the NFL?
It really was. We talked about that before our broadcast tonight. The Detroit Lions, a very good team, and they finished the season very strong last year. Kansas City with a couple of players out due to injury and also to a contract dispute. And for Detroit, season opener to go into Kansas City and get that win. Very impressive for Coach Campbell and the Lions.
I think some fans were a little bit ticked off that Mike Tirico after the game said, well, you can put an asterisk by this win. It's like, well, wait a minute.
I don't think that's fair.
I mean, I get it. I understand it. They're missing 2 top players, but nonetheless.
Right, but if those players would have been hurt and it would have been in the middle of the season, would you still put an asterisk next to it?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike.
New quarterback is Jayon Washington into the game for Maplewood, and he's going to be dropped for a loss back to the 42-yard line. Freshman 5'9", he's listed at 136. That might be generous.
Keon Williams was able to go in and make the play for East Nashville.
1:45 left to play. Ball is back at the Maplewood 42-yard line, so chances are the Panthers' last opportunity to get the goose egg off the board. They have just struggled this season offensively, have not been able to find really any kind of offensive rhythm. Their largest scoring output was 14 points last week against Spring Hill. This is a second down and 14. Late handoff, nothing. Ball came loose. I think he was already down.
Quick reminder, 32nd Southern Heritage Classic at the Liberty Bowl, TSU, Arkansas Pine Bluff. Tomorrow pregame 5:30, kickoff at 6 with Greg Pogue and Chris Sanders on the call.
They've had a nice little run, little Notre Dame trip, and then a little Liberty Bowl trip.
I've had a chance to see MTSU and Memphis play in the Liberty Bowl in recent years.
Made a couple of Liberty Bowl trips over the years. 3rd down and 15. About 30 seconds left in the contest. This might be the final play. Jet sweep fake, keeper by the quarterback. He's going to get about 7 yards out to about the 48-yard line, and I think that may do it. 20 seconds left. The clock continues to run, and I don't think Maplewood has any strong desire to get up there and go ahead and snap it one more time. I believe they're just going to let this thing run out and go to the house. A dominating performance by the Eagles of East Nashville Magnet. They lead start to finish and win going away. A final score of 54-0. East Nashville improves to 4-0 on the season. Maplewood falls to 0-4. Stay with us. We'll come back and wrap things up on the postgame show right after this on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athlete. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators to display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit JodyJonesDDS.com or call 615-259-5100.
If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling.
Jackson Boone Racing.
The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series Championship at Nashville Fairground Speedway.
Jackson Boone Racing.
A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old.
Jackson Boone Racing.
Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service, along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front.
Jackson Boone Racing.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Now it's time for your MidState Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week post-game show with stats and analysis of tonight's game and your MidState Checkdown High School Football Player of the Week. Now here's Joe Fisher and Jonathan Schaefer.
Well, the analysis on this one is pretty easy. 54-0 was the final in favor of East Nashville Magnet. The Eagles led 19-0 after one. Never looked back, never threatened. Maplewood really, I think maybe on only one occasion, actually threatened to score, got it down into the red zone, but a combination of turnovers kicking game issues, and really just no ability, Jonathan, to stop this East Nashville offense from Maplewood all night long.
No, not at all. We knew coming into the game that there was an opportunity that East Nashville could put up a big number. They'd been averaging over 40 points a game so far this season. Did that tonight and more. Their highest output of the season here tonight with the 54 points. This is going to be an East Nashville team that, especially in that region, is going to be very hard to stop.
And it's interesting because the offensive numbers are not gaudy. The reason they're not is they were on short field all night. They had an interception, a pick six for a touchdown. They had a block punt for a touchdown. Had another block punt that they got at the 1 yard line. They didn't have long fields to have to generate a lot of offense.
Well, and another one that was a high snap on a punt. So 3 basically botched punts for Maplewood was able to create those very short fields. So the offense didn't have to go very far. And that first-team defense was absolutely dominant tonight. They ended up bringing them back in so they could preserve the shutout, 54-0 being the final score.
Our player of the week tonight brought to you by our good friends at Jackson Boone Racing. I believe it's got to go to K.J. Johnson, the sophomore running back, 5'10", 180 for the Eagles. 9 carries, 73 yards, but 3 touchdowns on a night, Jonathan, where if they had wanted to feed him, might have had a really big night.
Oh, they could have done that, but what you have to like with East Nashville is they have variety in their offense in terms of their running game. They can throw 3 different guys at you with their spread offensive attack, and really, there's just enough tonight, Joe, that East Nashville didn't do well, that they'll be able to have points of emphasis during this week coming up.
100 yards and penalties. That's going to be number 1 on the list. You do that in a close game, you lose.
Also, the kickoff coverage was not great tonight for East Nashville.
Maplewood, a total of 73 yards of total offense in the contest. Just never really to get anything going at all tonight. So a dominating performance for the Eagles of East Nashville, who improved to 4-0 on the season as they lead Class 3A Region 5. Maplewood falls to 0-4. My thanks to Jonathan Schaefer as always. Thanks to Adam Johnson. Thanks to everybody back in the studio. We'll see you next week, 6:45, right here on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike, Southern Trophy has been serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 62 years. Southern Trophy offers a wide array of services like custom-designed awards, cast bronze plaques, etched crystal awards, laser-engraved corporate gifts, promotional items, merch, embroidery, screen printing, signage, and banners. Browse their entire collection online at southerntrophy.com or on Facebook at Southern Trophy. Feel free to give them a call at 615-256-7295. That's 615-256-7295. Southern Trophy. They do their best to help you recognize your best. If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling.
It's a Bill King Show.
We are college football centric. That is the sun that warms our planet that we live on. Our planet actually isn't flat or round. It's an oblong spheroid. And we are here to proselytize about it, edify it every day on this here radio show.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
When you want down-home cooking, just head downtown. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel serves traditional Southern cooking, sourced fresh and local, just like Grandma used to make. Start your day with a Southern smoked breakfast bowl or a Music City omelet. If you're looking for variety, hit the biggest breakfast buffet in Music City or get your fill at the world-famous Biscuit Bar. Kitchen Notes dishes up lunch with traditional Southern tomato pie, country ham, and classic picnic ambrosia. Serving breakfast Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10:30, and lunch is served 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Kitchen Notes doesn't forget the brunch crowd. Brunch at Kitchen Notes is every Friday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., featuring cast iron pancakes, made-to-order waffles and eggs, and ice-cold carafes of mimosas. Enjoy farm-to-table Southern dishes made from treasured family recipes. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
And we are back live from the Strike and Spare Studios. Call in 615-844-5600. Final score: East Nashville all over Maplewood, 54-0. And before we get to Greg Pogue, for him to preview his show, Prep Football Talk, and also talk about the Tennessee State University Tigers, they go down to the Liberty Bowl down in Memphis, Tennessee. New look to the Southern Heritage Classic. Old game, but just a new team. So Tennessee State still in the game. Welcome in now Arkansas Pine Bluff out of the SWAC Conference, but we'll let Greg get to all that in just a second. But again, back to this game. Our WNSR Mid-State Checkdown game of the week comes to an official conclusion. Final score: East Nashville 56, Maplewood 0. So a lot of self-inflicting wounds for the Panthers of Maplewood, and for East Nashville, they just keep on rolling.
For East Nashville, you see them rotating out the kickers. So I don't know if they're trying new kickers or because, the first two extra points, they missed. And then, the rest of the game, the kickers were on point, pun intended. Man, like you said, man, 54-0. So if you are Maplewood at this point, what do you do?
Hey, you just keep fighting. I mean, you come back next week and you just hope for the best. I mean, this is a program that is in a rebuilding stage. They have a first-year head coach, his first head coaching job ever. Yep. Chris Simpson, Devin Harris, the winning coach, his first coaching job. Has been a coordinator and assistant for years in the Nashville area. But if you're Maplewood, you just come back next week. You learn from your mistakes. You made a lot of them tonight, a lot of self-inflicting wounds. You just keep playing. It's off to week 5 at this point.
And if you're East Nashville, on a roll now, what do you do?
I think with them, it's the same thing. You're now 4-0.
Right.
You have beaten some really good teams. You started your year off. They were supposed to play at Pope Prep.
Right.
But East Nashville Magnet has a new turf field, so that field was not ready. So that game then had to become a home game for the Knights. And they went in and they beat down a really young and naive, again, another team that is finding their identity under second-year head coach Brian Snead, but still a force to be reckoned with. We'll get to their game tonight. They played the Webb School out of Bell Buckle, Tennessee. A final there. We'll get to that in just a second. But if you're East Nashville, it's on to week 5. You continue to do the things that you're doing. You're a young squad, a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors, and these young men were freshmen and sophomores on that state championship team from last season.
Yeah, and I think another point is, you don't get cocky, because you see a lot of teams up in the 4th week undefeated. They almost get cocky, and so they look past, this team. They look past this team, and with football, man, they say in the NFL it's any given Sunday, but for high school football, we're going to say it's any given Friday. It's any given Friday. Man, a lot of penalties. You heard Joe and Jonathan talk about over 100 yards in penalties for the game for East Nashville, and that hurts. Like you said, the fundamentals aren't fundamentally.
Well, that's what our generation would say.
Right.
But for East Nashville, for them, it's on to the Upstart Liberty Creek program.
Nice.
They will go to Liberty Creek. For Maplewood next week, well, it's off to Glencliff. I mean, you're 0-4. You're going up against a Glencliff team that has also stopped a losing streak. It took them a few games, but in week 2, they defeated the Trailblazers of Republic, a school we'll have on our WNSR Mid-State Checkdown game of the week. I believe in week 9, you beat Republic 44-6. So now if you're Maplewood, you're going up against a team that you kind of match up against, and you hope for the best.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But before we get into our scoreboard, it's not often, Q Joseph. I mean, you and I are. I know I'm still getting started in my media career. You've been in a little bit longer than I have. It's rare that you get to interview a Hall of Famer.
Yes,
so
sir.
we're going to now bring in the Tennessee Sports Writer Hall of Famer, Greg Pogue. And Mr. Pogue, how are things going tonight? And appreciate you staying up late with us to talk some high school football. I know you have a show coming up tomorrow. Talk about that show early in the morning.
Well, first off, thank you. Second off, it's 9:17, and I'm staying up late. What the hell? I mean, my gosh. I can kick both of your guys' butt every day of the week. I don't want to hear that noise. I'm staying up late. But thanks for having me. Yeah, tough one. Man, those are always tough calls. Listen to Joe and Jonathan. And East Nashville's good. I mean, they're at that level, a state championship contender. Maplewood's still in the building process, so I was listening to that and everything. But yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm glad that I set my alarm so I could get up and come on with you.
See, that's why I gave you a call earlier before you said call me before I was ready, because
yeah, I don't need Will. I can run. I don't need to hear your noise. I can run circles around you. Okay.
It'll take you a while. But coming up tomorrow morning, you have Prep Football Talk with Coach Bubba Spears. I mean, some good things coming up on the show tomorrow. Talk to the fans about that.
Well, yeah, and we've been doing it. It's really cool. We've been doing it for 13 years, every Saturday morning. Bubba Spears. We started it with, former Vandy, Hall of Famer Kurt Page and Craig Ladd and everything. We do it every Saturday morning, sort of a love thing that we do. And we go out every Monday, Tuesday, and present a plaque for the MidState Player of the Week. And it was Friendship Christian, John McNeil. And we actually, the game last year, semifinals, Joe and I did it together. I just had a lot of the TSU stuff on my plate, and so it's great to hear Joe and Jonathan doing them. But, Tyson Walcott, John McNeil out there, and we do a Legend of the Week. And Trousdale County broadcaster Mike Oregon of the Tennessean did a story on him, 500 broadcasts of that, story program, Trousdale County. So, yeah, we just – it's a labor of love, high school football. That's why you guys are in there. It's why we do what we do. And, it's pretty cool. Thanks for asking.
Oh, no problem. Hey, tune in tomorrow from 8 to 9, Prep Football Talk with Greg Pogue and Coach Bubba Spears. Now, Greg, outside of Prep Football Talk and all the good things that you have done for high school football in your tenure here in the Nashville area, you are also the voice of Tennessee State University football. They have a pretty tough test tomorrow versus Arkansas Pine Bluff. Talk about their game. We know that they had a rough start versus Notre Dame, losing that game 56-3, but you then come back to FCS football and you play an Arkansas Pine Bluff team that has defeated TSU in the past, and they're a team in the SWAC that, they can sneak up and beat you any given Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm not going to get too hung up on the score. Everything that happened at Notre Dame was more of a 4-day, quite frankly, a cultural event. Notre Dame playing for the first time in HBCU, the Aristocrat of bands. I've never seen an opposing band get a standing ovation from the home crowd, and they nailed it. And the whole atmosphere of it. But I was encouraged. I mean, I know what it's going to say, but, that first quarter, you make a play, and Sam Hartman, he's surgical. I mean, he's one of the most productive quarterbacks in the history of college football. And it, but they got some push up front. That was what I was most impressed with. Both lines of scrimmage, they weren't pushed around a lot. And that quite frankly surprised me. And so that's encouraging. I think this is a sneaky good team. They got playmakers on the outside. Defense is solid. Defense is really good. They were, second in the country last year in red zone defense, top 25 overall defense. And with Devion Bryant, who they started, and Draylon Ellis, who has all the experience, and they've got some playmakers. I came out of that game encouraged by what I saw, because Sam Hartman could have scored 80 if he wanted to. They took him out in the first. He only played one half, and he scored. It was 49-3 against Navy, and that's an FBS team. So, but I was pretty much encouraged by what I saw.
Yeah, I think TSU, and you've known this covering the team. One thing, if TSU doesn't have anything, they're always going to have some good offensive linemen. They're going to have a good running back. Sporadically, they're going to have a standout defensive back. And they've always, at most times, been a fairly disciplined defense. I mean, they play in a really, people fail to understand, and you know this, Greg, you and I both know this, the OVC is a tough conference. People, I think, I don't want to say the conference doesn't get the respect it deserves, but there are a lot of good teams in the OVC that, let's just be honest, once it gets to the OVC season, they're beating up on each other.
Yeah, and you look at it this way, too. They now have the alliance with the Big South because of all the departures of schools that are just, like Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State and everything. You now have the Atlantic Sun and the Western Athletic, the WAC, and this makes a lot of sense. The WAC and the Atlantic Sun, okay? They are in a they have combined, and it's the same thing with the Big South. Southeast Missouri's ranked 15th in the country. UT Martin's always good. Gardner-Webb will be a week from tomorrow on our station in the John Merritt Classic. They were the Big South champion last year and beat Eastern Kentucky in the first round of the playoffs. So it's a tough league, and there's a lot of. I mean, you look at like a Colton Dow, right? The kid on the Titans roster made the cut, 7th round draft pick, Wilson Central, UT Martin. So yeah, we see that there. And now with the transfer portal and all of that, and people can move up, down, sideways, or whichever. You never know who's going to show up.
Yeah,
it's I was, like I said, I see what this team's, and Eddie, the thing about it is, this is his third year. That first year, remember Will, you and I did the football games in a conference room on radio, okay?
Yeah, that was rough.
I mean, there was the Tennessee Tech game. We were calling play-by-play and wasn't even seeing it, okay, the first 5 minutes. So, yeah, and so he came in. The OVC had moved, that the fall to spring. Rod was let go. Eddie brought in with zero spring with that and everything. So this may be his third year, but truly it's only his second full cycle.
Yeah, that it is. I mean, he has brought a lot of coaching talent and a lot of guys that attention to detail is mandatory with that program. I mean, I think, and I will say this, and I think, Greg, you will probably agree. Let's continue to give Tennessee State University time. I feel like their time is coming. This is a staff that I feel like has now gotten to know each other, even with a few new additions. So good things to come for this TSU program. But, Greg, hey, I want to thank you for staying up with us, and I'll see you in the morning.
Staying up. I mean, I stay up at midnight every Friday night. I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
I got you. I got you.
It's past my bedtime. What's wrong with you?
Well, hey, go ahead and go to bed, young man. You can catch Greg Pogue and Bubba Spears in the morning from 8 to 9. Prep Football Talk live here on WNSR. Also, tomorrow, if you want to listen to the TSU game, pregame is at 5:30. Kickoff is at 6. Greg Pogue and former Tennessee Titan wide receiver Chris Sanders on the call for that game. Again, Greg, thank you for your time this evening. What we're going to do, we're going to take a break because, Q Joseph, I think we got a couple of announcers that have called in to talk about their teams.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
take a break. We'll be right back live from the Strike and Spare Studios here, WNSR. This is the MidState Checkdown Game of the Week post-game wrap-up show. We'll be right back.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athlete. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators to display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit JodyJonesDDS.com or call 615-259-5100.
If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling.
Jackson Boone Racing.
The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series championship at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
Jackson Boone Racing.
A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old.
Jackson Boone Racing.
Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service, along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front.
Jackson Boone Racing.
We all know that Nashville life can get hectic. In the middle of all the madness that is life, don't forget to take care of yourself. Treat yourself to Nashville's ultimate relaxation experience at Makara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. With services for men and women, Makara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel is your one-stop shop for full body treatment. Begin your experience in the exquisite relaxation room, then enjoy a full body treatment or even a couples massage before finishing in the salon. Located on the 4th floor of the Omni Nashville Hotel, Makara Spa is Nashville's highest quality self-care oasis. To book your experience or gain information on packages, call Makara Spa today at 615-761-3600. Again, 615-761-3600. Or log on to theomnihotel.com. And with every booking, you'll have free valet parking and rooftop pool access to enjoy the Music City skyline. And through Labor Day, enjoy the 4th floor spa terrace for only $20. Makara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling.
And we are back. WNSR MidState Checkdown game of the week. Early ending for our game tonight. East Nashville 54, Maplewood 0. Maplewood shows some fight. But again, East Nashville proving why they are the better team. They will improve to 4-0 on the year. Maplewood yet to get on the winning side of things. But hey, appreciate the fans for calling in. We're going to now go to our phone lines. We have Bo Kennedy on the line. He is the filling in tonight for Kendall Butler, who is the voice of Pope Prep football. Bo Kennedy, you stepped in tonight to call the game, Pope Prep versus the Webb School. talk about those results. Two teams 0-3. Don't want to say in desperate need of a win, but I'm pretty sure for whomever won, it was a boost in confidence.
Hey, Will, good to hear from you. Webb, I expected a better fight out of Webb. Webb was winless and put up 21 against a really, really good FRA team last week, but it just wasn't to be for the feat as Pope Prep would go on to win 40-7. They rely heavily on their running back, Elijah Robb. That was the recipe tonight, but they also heavily mixed in the pass, which worked out pretty well for them.
And this is a team. I mean, Hudson Holman, a freshman quarterback, took over for Selby Nelson, who's nursing a shoulder injury, and beat out a senior in Connor Lynn, who athletic, yes, but starts at outside linebacker on the defensive side of the ball, if I'm not mistaken. Hudson Holman, I know last week, 11 of 14, a little under 150 yards passing, threw a couple touchdowns. How did the young freshman look out there in game number 4 of varsity experience?
Another couple touchdowns for Holman, got the job done. I think I expected the passing attack to run through Jerkovich, their junior receiver, but it was really a collective effort. I think they really spread the ball around really well.
Outside of the offense, doing a good job of spreading the ball around. Defensively, who really stood out to you on that side of the ball for Pope Prep?
Well, Elijah Robb has not played a lot on the defensive end before this contest against Webb. It served them well to use him as a two-way star tonight. He was wreaking havoc on the outside for making life real hard on the Webb feet.
Oh, man, sounds good. Well, Bo Kennedy, hey, appreciate you for stepping in. Heard you did a really good job, so I'll be giving you a call. But next week, I believe the Knights of Pope John Paul Preparatory School will be going to Good Pasture. Right now, Good Pasture struggling in their contest. We'll get to our scoreboard in just a second. But, hey, Bo, you be safe going back to Franklin. Appreciate you calling in. You have a good night.
Hey, thanks, Will. You too.
Man, no problem. Now, we're going to bring in the voice of the Beach Buccaneers, Terry Utley. Hey, Terry, how's it going? Talk about your team.
Good enough to get out of here. Beach 35-0 over the visiting Portland Panthers. Opening region game. Beach gets back on the winning track after dropping 2 close losses to major 6A programs in Collierville and Riverdale. Back home tonight under circumstances where they had to bring in some temporary bleachers because of the problems we've had here at the stadium. And great crowd tonight, and Beach gets back on the winning track tonight.
Do you feel like this tough schedule? I mean, this is a team that went to the state championship last year. I mean, this is
in 6A, yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And you know you've been around that Beach program for a while. That 6A is you better bring it, or you will get shipped out. So when you look at this Beach team, I mean, tough schedule this year. I know everyone in their new schedules and new classifications for TSSAA. Do you feel like the record is indicative of the team?
Not particularly. Beach, like a lot of teams, we took a hard lick from graduation. We lost about 26 kids, 2,000-yard rushers, our entire offensive line, quarterback, et cetera. But, you know, we were just talking about this with my color man here, Charlie Haygood. This region we're in this year with Henry County, Hendersonville, Springfield is at no disrespect, but it's as hard, it's as tough a region as we were in last year in 6A. And of course, Hendersonville was with us in 6A last year and dropped down to 5A with us. And then Henry County has been on our schedule every year as a non-region game, and now they're in our region. And you see what they play toe-to-toe with Brentwood tonight. So we're in a dogfight for this region. And we say dropping from 6A to 5A, it should have been a cakewalk, if anything, and then playing 4 6A teams non-district. I would argue we've got a tougher schedule this year than we had last year.
And people fail to understand. I mean, Portland, and I used to cover Pope Prep.
Right.
Portland is not a team you just come in and say, we got a W. There's a lot of speed down there in Portland, Tennessee.
There is, and if you look down that roster, we talked about this several times tonight. Half of their starters were sophomores. 2 years ago, their Portland East Middle School dominated the middle school and won the championship here in Sumner County. And now these kids are sophomores. And you look down that roster, and it was sophomore. Very few seniors and a few juniors sprinkled in, but that program was mainly made up of sophomores. And we made that comment going forward, this team will be heard from. And they're a relatively small 5A program in enrollment numbers. But everybody better watch out for these guys the next 2 years.
Yeah, I think you make a valid point. And I think last year they put a lot of people on display. I know they had a fairly decent season last year, going 6-6. They beat Southwind in the first round of the playoffs, in Class 5A playoffs, but they ran into a pretty damn talented Henry County school, losing 42-7 in the second round. But like you said, they did that with a lot of underclassmen.
Right. And it's that, but they're just trying to fight. Right now, no disrespect to anybody, it looks like it's a fight between Hendersonville Beach and Henry County, and Springfield's nobody to look over in their own right. So those 4 teams in Portland's just trying to knock on the door to pull themselves up. Now, Hunters Lane is our other team, and no disrespect, but they're struggling again this year. So, but those other teams, I mean, it's gonna be a dogfight for this region championship.
Yeah, that it will. So we'll see what happens. Hey, you know what? Sumner County, albeit I am Davidson County educated, OVC degreed. Hey, man, you guys continue. Let's continue this love. Continue to call in every week. I miss you guys down there. It's always fun to see you guys down
Appreciate it.
At the station. Appreciate you calling in, Terry, and you have a good night, okay?
You too. Have a safe weekend. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Goodbye.
Well, there you go, Q Joseph. Again, I tell a lot of people, watch out for Sumner County. I mean, because from top to bottom, you have some really good teams. And albeit the records do not show it at times, any given Friday, you can come down to Gallatin, Hendersonville, Westmoreland, Portland, and get ran right off the field if you do not come in with a focused head.
But like you said, man, like we talked about, off the air, it goes back to the fundamentals. Not saying you win with fundamentals, but you definitely don't lose by fundamentals.
Not really.
So, you know what I'm saying? If you keep your fundamentals sound, if you keep your special teams and everything sound, you keep your offense and your defense sound with the fundamentals.
Right.
You don't have, like in this game, over 100 yards and penalties. You have a chance. You might still get mollywopped by a decent team, but you have a chance. And it especially some of these young teams that we talked about, some of these young teams who are undisciplined, man, you get some discipline behind you, you get them fundamentals behind you, man, it can definitely be a turnaround for you.
Well, you got a point. And what we'll do, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. We got about 20 more minutes with you fans. WNSR MidState Checkdown game of the week came to an early end. East Nashville 54, Maplewood 0. We are live from the Strike and Spare Studios. Hey, this is a message to anybody. If you got a final, if you got a game that's still in progress, give us a call, 615-844-5600. Again, that is 615-844-5600. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. This is the WNSR MidState Checkdown Game of the Week post-game wrap-up show.
Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike, Southern Trophy has been serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 62 years. Southern Trophy offers a wide array of services like custom-designed awards, cast bronze plaques, etched crystal awards, laser-engraved corporate gifts, promotional items, merch, embroidery, screen printing, signage, and banners. Browse their entire collection online at southerntrophy.com or on Facebook at Southern Trophy. Feel free to give them a call at 615-256-7295. That's 615-256-7295. Southern Trophy. They do their best to help you recognize your best. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
What's the right number of targets for DeAndre Hopkins in a game?
So for him to have the 5 or 6 catches a game that I need him to have in order to be successful, to me, you got to target him at least 9 or 10 times a game.
My number was 8.
Okay.
He has to be targeted at least 8 times a game. Again, you don't bring in these guys to be decoys.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling.
And fans, we are back live from the Strike and Spare Studios, WNSR MidState Checkdown game of the week. We have now on the line Coach Chris Simpson from Maplewood High School, first-year head coach, helping that program turn around. And Coach Simpson, thank you for coming on to talk about your team. You are amongst friends, and
absolutely,
and just know that I think good things are coming for this Maplewood program. Albeit not necessarily the result you wanted tonight. Your team, Maplewood and East Nashville, were our Mid-State Checkdown game of the week. I was told that, the Maplewood faithful provided an excellent atmosphere for our WNSR team. So I'm sure we will definitely be back next year. But Coach Simpson, talk about your team tonight.
First, I just want to thank y'all for having me on and coming out to the game. That means a lot to me and the community, just the support. We're just trying to build the program back to once grateful state. It was a tough game. I don't think we had a good week of practice to begin with. I always preach details matter, and because they do. I mean, if you have one bad practice, especially a team as good as East and the athletes they have, it's not going to end. It's not going to fare good results. I don't think we played well at all in any phase of the game. We had some. We had a bright spot in our return man, Demarion Teasley. He did a great job. I mean, we returned the ball a lot tonight, so we got to see him do his part. I laugh because it's hurtful. It's my pain, but I just say it was a good team. They are a good team. They was a lot more physical than us. They executed. We didn't. We got a lot to grow on, a lot of things to work on. The good thing about it is that was only our first region game, so we got 3 region games left. So we're still in position to capture what we want.
With this being your first head coaching job, I know you and I talked about in the preseason that you were kind of ready for this. I mean, you took notes and kind of moved like a head coach in your coordinator days. if you could kind of go back to maybe a game like this in college or in high school, and now as a head coach, what do you feel like you learned about yourself as a coach here tonight?
I'll be honest with you, I've never faced a game like this. We've always been in it. So I think what I learned is I got to continue to keep the faith. Even though I feel like I did a good job tonight, I can't get down on myself, can't get down on the kids. Got to be a lot better encourager. Everybody knows I'm not really big on words, but I'm not a big rah-rah guy. I'm more of an action guy. But I got to find the right motivating words to get our kids up and going. I think we did a good job. Honestly, I think we did a good job to continue to fight throughout the game. We still didn't execute the way we wanted to, but they didn't get down. They kept fighting. They had a good spirit. So I guess the biggest thing I learned is just keep pushing my team forward because they look at me for leadership. So if they see me down, they're gonna get down themselves. So I just got to continue to hold my head high as I was taught and continue to do the job.
Hey, Coach, this is Q Joseph, man. Man, listen, like you said, man, it's a fight. You know, you were battling a team that just seemed good, but like you said, man, it just to help with your encouragement, man, you got to keep the fighting, head high to the finish, man. You absolutely have to keep fighting, and I love when you say the spirit of your boys is, you know, they didn't get down, they kept fighting, and you know, Will and I have talked about it the whole night. We talked about fundamentals, and it's definitely getting back to the fundamentals. I want to ask you a question. You mentioned it. Why do you think you didn't have a good practice this week?
We didn't fare well in the classroom. Progress reports came out, and we didn't fare as well as I had hoped and anticipated. Because I've been preaching this since I got the job. I care about grades. Grades matter, regardless if we're trying to go to the next level. Or we just trying to graduate, take upon a trade, or whatever we want to do. Grades matter, and we didn't do a good job faring in the classroom. So I had to stand on my bluff. I wasn't bluffing on it. So
no, listen, that's a great point. You know, at this point, it is your student athletes, and so that student is a very big part of it.
Oh, absolutely. I've been preaching it. Like I literally been preaching since I got the job. Even we did a player contract. We got a player contract, got a parent contract. In the contract, it says what the grade, what the expectation is, and if we don't meet it, what the outcome is. So I mean, we've been hustling we really hustled backwards all week. To be honest with you, we was out of school Monday. We had good practice Monday. I was excited about the week. I said it's gonna be a good game plan, everything together.
Yeah.
Then Tuesday hit, and everybody walking around with the sad face. I was like, oh no. So I already knew something. What's up? And then so I just had to stand on my word on it. And so it hurt. It really hurt me to do it, but I just can't. We can't allow that in the program, especially we trying to build. I just think certain things matter, and that's one of them. Like, you are a student before anything else.
Right.
Football's a privilege. It's not. You don't have to be out here. So let's take care of. I'm not asking for much, to be honest with you. All I'm asking is for a C average.
Yeah.
Give me a C average, and we can make something shake of that. But I know we have guys with goals and aspirations of making it to the next level, and it's like that's the bare minimum I ask you. College is going to ask you for more.
Absolutely.
So I just want them to get into that mindset of I can do this, not because my coach is telling me to do it, because I want to do it.
Understandable. But hey, Coach, again, I think you know what you're doing there at Maplewood. That's quite obvious. You're a very intelligent man. All the best to you this season. Thanks for calling in, and have a good night.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming out.
Oh, no problem. Well, that was Coach Chris Simpson from Maplewood High School on the fun side of the scoreboard shutout this year. And actually, this is the first time that Maplewood has been shut out this season. So losing the WNSR MidState Checkdown game of the week, final score 54-0. And I believe we now have the winning head coach in that game, Coach Damian Harris. We're going to take the phone lines to him. And right now, we may have to kind of speed him up because our phone lines are blowing up. Give us a call, 615-844-5600. We are broadcasting live from the Strike and Spirit Studios. Hey, Coach Damian Harris, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Well, life is good, man. Just filling time here at the studio. You guys came out, you dominated. Talk about your win tonight.
It was a good win. Anytime you could beat a rival school, I know they're up and coming, but anytime you could beat a rival school, that's always a good thing. Our kids, they were up to play. I mean, all week we had great practices, and I had preached about, trying to dominate. We want to learn how to dominate and learn how to start playing more fast and physical, and we kind of put it together a little bit tonight.
Oh man, sounds good. Outside of the score, what were some things you feel like you still need to take away from this game? Where are some areas you feel like your team may need to improve?
Well, definitely have to stop having so many mental penalties. Holding, we had a lot of offsides on defense. We got to take care of that because that put us in bad positions, as well as unnecessary flags. Like I said, sometimes you playing against rivalry, emotions get a lot high, and I felt like we played undisciplined at times, which I definitely can't tolerate.
Well, Coach Damian Harris, appreciate you for taking some time out of your night. Congratulations on the big win, and go Eagles.
That sounds good. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you. That is Coach Damian Harris from the winning East Nashville Magnet Eagles team. This is a team with a new head coach.
Yeah.
But you're still getting the same results. Another young team, another team that went to the state championship last year, ran into Alcoa.
Yeah.
And you run into the tornadoes of Alcoa, you might get spun up and bad things may happen. But I think this East Nashville team, I don't want to go on a limb and say that they have what it takes to beat Alcoa. I mean, still early on in the season. We'll see what happens. Hey, we got another announcer from out there in the high school world. We're going to now welcome Chris Freeman. He is the voice of Liberty Creek. And I'm going to give you an interesting tidbit. I'm sure he has to be the happiest father in the world. He has a son. His name is Noah Freeman. Look his name up. He went viral for calling a game. And I want to say he was at White House. Down in Sumner County. When you look at him, you would think he's still a young man, but this man is now a freshman at Middle Tennessee State. And I think Joseph, he may take one of our jobs. It's not going to be mine. It may be yours. But, hey, Chris Freeman, voice of Liberty Creek football, how are you doing this evening? Talk about those Wolves.
Well, 55-18, first ever Region 5 3A win. And after playing 3 undefeated teams to start the season, everything came together tonight. And it was fun over at Stratford, and a great win for Liberty Creek as they pounded the football and was really dominant in tonight's game.
Who stood out to you?
So quarterback Brian Rager, he had 3 touchdowns passing, 133 yards passing, 1 touchdown rushing. We also had our tailback was out, so senior Kyle Farmer stepped in, rushed for 129 yards, also scored a rushing touchdown, 2 receiving touchdowns. We scored on a hook and lateral play tonight that was beautiful. And overall, it was a 21-12 game. And then Liberty Creek on defense got back-to-back sacks on Justice Law, got a 4th down stop. And from that point on, it was complete and total dominance until the end of the game with a running clock.
Now, really briefly, for those who don't know much about Liberty Creek, break that program down.
So Liberty Creek is the newest high school in Sumner County. It's located in Cottontown, which sort of encompasses the Station Camp, Gallatin Beach, and White House in-between zones. And so all of the kids came from those general areas. This is our 2nd year of playing football. And with the region alignment, last year we were not in a region, so this year is our first year playing region football. And these kids got their first region win tonight. And this is really important because you just talked to East Nashville, and we got East Nashville next week at home. We got 5 straight home games, and even if we don't beat East Nashville, we're now in the driver's seat for a home playoff game in the postseason if we beat Maplewood and Republic. So this was a very big win tonight in Region 5 3A.
And you guys are only in year 2. That lets you know how much talent is down there in Sumner County. Hey, Chris, thank you for joining us. Let's continue that Sumner County love next week. Continue to call in, man. Anytime you and I get a chance to talk, it's always a beautiful thing. Appreciate everything you've done, not only for me, but what your son is slowly starting to do at Middle Tennessee State as an up-and-coming announcer as well. So shout out to Noah Freeman.
Yeah, he's doing play-by-play with me, so he's sitting here listening. So thanks for the shout-out to Noah.
Oh, no problem, man. Hey, have a good night, man. You stay safe down there, okay?
Thanks, Willie. See you, man.
All right. Hey, Liberty Creek, that's a new program down in Sumner County. And if you ever get a chance, man, well, we won't get a chance. But if you get a chance, go ahead and go down there to Liberty Creek. It's a very interesting atmosphere. So, hey, only a few minutes left. We'll run through some final scores here. This is the WNSR MidState Checkdown Game of the Week. Final score in our broadcast: East Nashville 54, Maplewood 0. Briarcrest 42-0 right now. That game's still in progress versus Ridgeway. McNary Central down to Ripley 40-13. William Blount 45. Morristown Hamilton 35. And we'll get to a few more scores. Gotta love the Wi-Fi here some days. Some days it, wants to work. Some days it doesn't.
Well, while you're looking, I was about to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Christian Community 55, Zion Christian 13, Knox Central out of Kentucky 44, Scott 3, Eagleton Academy 21, West Green 18, Hampton 36, Happy Valley 0, Dobbins Bennett 14, Jefferson County. That game is at halftime with Dobbins Bennett up by 8 points. Cloudland losing to Johnson County today, 47-24. Sullivan East 26, Unicoi County 13. William Blount 45-35 over Morristown East. York Institute 27, Bledsoe County 17. Cofield 56. Midway did not score in the game, but I think this one stands out to me. West 21, Maryville 14. Polk County 40, Tellico Plains 7, Clinton 55, Campbell County 14, Sale Creek, Chattanooga Prep. Sale Creek 12, Chattanooga Prep 8, Copper Basin 39, New Faith Christian Academy out of Georgia. Copper Basin 39, New Faith Christian Academy 22. Loudon 30, East Ridge did not get on the board. Hickson 19, Siegel Mountain 7, Westmoreland. And I tell you, that Westmoreland program, man, 3-1, 48-7. McMinn Central 21, Brainerd 20. Antioch losing to Oakland 49-0. Saudi Daisy 28, Sequoia 10. That will do it for our WNSR Mid-State Checkdown Game of the Week. Live from the Strike and Spare Studios. Tune in next week. Smyrna and Laverne. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Laverne, a struggling program. Smyrna starting to get back on a good foot like they were in the early 2000s going into the 2010s. For Will Brown, Q Joseph, I'm Will Brown saying good night and so long from the WNSR studios. You have listened to another broadcast of the Mid-State Checkdown Game of the Week.
Thank you for listening to the Mid-State Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. Make sure to follow WNSR on Twitter at Nash Sports Radio and on Facebook at Nashville Sports Radio for highlights of tonight's game. The Mid-State Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by Strike and Spare Family Fun Center, Jackson Boone Racing, the Omni Nashville Hotel, Jody Jones Dentistry, Southern Trophy House. Thank you for listening to the Mid-State Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week on Nashville's home for high school football. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports.